Hokage. Naruto, I have God-level selection system and unified the ninja world. Chapter 41. After finally blocking the opponent's attack, Naruto once again protected the Wind Demon drawer behind him. However, the Wind Demon drawer did not retreat under the cover of the celebrity but shouted again. Brother Arashi, I know you can hear me. Quote. Please, wake up. The sound of the Wind Demon drawer quickly reached the ears of the monster. This time, the monster's eyes changed, as if it had some human form. Sasam, is that you? The monster said as he stretched out his hand, wanting to touch the Wind Demon drawer. Just before he could take a few steps, his eyes changed again. Seeing that the other party's body once again exuded a murderous aura, Naruto finally stopped hesitating. Sasam, he's not your brother anymore. Don't worry, I'll let him not continue to suffer like this. After Naruto finished speaking, he directly rushed towards the monster, and at the same time his body was covered in armed color domineering. After using the armed color domineering, the big jade spiral pill prepared in Naruto's hand has also been completed. When Naruto came to the monster, he decisively pressed the large jade spiral pill in his hand to his chest. After the great jade spiral pill entered the monster's body at this time, the monster was knocked to the ground almost instantly. Soon, I saw that the excess pieces of meat on the monster's body began to fall off little by little. After all of them came off, a familiar figure finally appeared in front of Naruto and the Wind Demon drawer. Brother Arashi. At a glance, the Wind Demon drawer recognized that it was his brother Lan lying on the ground. Now he has finally returned to his previous appearance, but his breath is already a little weak, and he doesn't know if he can live. And just as the Wind Demon drawer rushed over and wanted to talk to his brother Arashi, several kunai suddenly flew out in the darkness. It was Naruto and Sasaki, who were a little weak at the moment because of the previous use of the Great Jade Spiral Pill. So when Kumu came, Naruto didn't notice it. And when Kumu was about to shoot Naruto and the Wind Demon drawer, Arashi, who was finally lying on the ground, suddenly burst out. The next moment, I saw that Lan directly blocked all the kunai with her body. Seeing that Arashi had given up something in order to save himself and Naruto, Sasakame suddenly burst into tears at this time. Don't cry, Sasam. In the future, we must live strongly. Quote. Without me by your side, learn to take care of yourself. Arashi's voice became smaller and quieter, until finally he gradually lost his life and finally fell to the ground. Watching Arashi die to save himself, Naruto was also furious. The next moment, I saw Naruto directly take out his shuriken and throw it into the darkness. This shuriken had been covered by Naruto domineeringly, so it quickly hit Yakushi in the dark. However, because he was not weak Naruto, he did not kill Yakushi in the end. The medicine man withstood the severe pain and disappeared into the darkness. And when the medicine master disappeared, Zilai also hurried over from another passage. When he saw the fight at the scene, he couldn't help but feel palpitations. Fortunately, Naruto blocked all the conspiracies of the medicine master pocket, so that nothing would happen. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that Naruto and Sakura will be brought back properly. Yo, Naruto, it looks like my worries are superfluous. It really impresses me. Jiraiya seemed happy that Naruto was able to grow to this point in a short period of time. However, just as Jiraiya was praising Naruto, suddenly the entire underground began to shake. Feeling the shaking of the ground, I couldn't help frowning. Not good, someone detonated the detonation charm. Naruto, Sakura, let's go. Zilai had already come to the two of them while speaking, ready to escape with them out of the underground. However, just when Jiraiya came to his side, Naruto rushed to the Wind Demon drawer not far away. In Naruto's opinion, she couldn't be left here to die, so soon Naruto carried Sasakame on his back. Seeing this, Jiraiya couldn't help but smile and nodded, and the next moment he ran directly outside with Sakura. Naruto, follow me. Don't be left behind. Quote. Zilai also greeted, and several people fled to the exit at a very fast speed. By the time they escaped through the exit, the entire underground had collapsed. Seeing the entrance completely under the tower, I couldn't help but breathe a sigh. Phew, it's risky. It looks like the clue is going to break. But it's good that people are okay. Quote. After speaking, he looked at Naruto, who had already begun to treat Sashime. Seeing this, he didn't bother him, but Sakura on the side, who was silent the whole time, obviously something was wrong. Naturally, he could guess what Sakura was thinking, so he walked over. Sakura, don't beat yourself up. This time there was no intelligence, there was still a chance. Quote, I'll definitely find Sasuke next time. Jiraiya also tried to comfort Sakura, and by this time Sakura's eyes were already full of tears. In fact, Sakura cried not only for Sasuke, but also for herself. Remembering all the dangers he had encountered before, it was almost Naruto alone in front of him, and he could only watch. This feeling of paleness and powerlessness really made her feel a little uncomfortable. At this time, she can't wait to immediately become stronger and protect everyone. And just as Sakura was crying, Naruto slowly walked up to her. Sakura-chan, I'll accompany you to practice when I go back. When the time comes, let old lady Tsunade be your master. That way, you can become stronger. Naruto said what was in Sakura's mind, and after hearing Naruto's words, Sakura finally nodded vigorously. Just like that, soon after sending Sasaki back to her village, Naruto and Jiraiya returned to Konoha again. Although no valuable information was obtained this time, at least the S-level mission was done. Naruto also successfully received the reward given by the system. Dirt reincarnated. It's finally here. Quote, now I want to think about how to use this big killer. Naruto was a little excited at this time. After all, this dirt rebirth is a very powerful ninjutsu. If used well, it can bring many benefits to Naruto. But soon a thorny question was also placed in front of Naruto's eyes, that is, who to use as the object of the rebirth of the dirt. Faced with this question, Naruto was a little overwhelmed for a while. Because he had memories of his past life, Naruto knew very well that it was impossible for the strength of a person reborn from dirt to be fully exerted. Therefore, it is necessary to carefully choose the object of rebirth of the soil. Only in this way can we ensure that the strength of the person who is reborn in the dirt will not be too bad and like a waste. If it is only ordinary people who are reborn in the soil, it is better not to apply this ninjutsu. After thinking about it, Naruto quickly had a goal in his head. And this target is the third generation of Hokage, who died not long ago because of the Great Snake Pill. In the original work, the body of the 3 generations of Hokage was resurrected by Orochimaru. Now it seems that Naruto's most likely contact with the corpse is only him. And with the strength of the 3 generations of Hokage, it is a good choice. It's just that where the bodies of these 3 generations of Hokage exist, Naruto still needs to investigate well. In Konoha village, everything is as calm as ever. Naruto stayed at home since he came back and didn't go out. In the past few days, he has completely understood the ninjutsu of soil rebirth. After figuring out the principle of this ninjutsu, Naruto set his sights on the corpse of the 3rd generation of Hokage. After many inquiries, Naruto finally confirmed the storage place of the body of the 3 generations of Hokage. So when the night was dark and the wind was high and everyone went to sleep, Naruto slipped into the Hall of Fame alone. Konoha's Hall of Fame is where Konoha's heroes live. Almost every hero who died because of the village is buried here. Sarutobi Hinata, also known as the 3rd generation Hokage, is lying in the tomb of the Konoha Hall of Fame at this moment. When Naruto came here, he also saw many tombstones erected outside. Among them is Naruto's father, Wave Feng Shuiman. Because Naruto had respect for his father, he did not intend to resurrect the Wave Feng Shuiman. However, in order not to let the body of Wave Feng Shuiman be taken away by Orochimaru, Naruto decisively left a seal on the tombstone. After doing all this, Naruto came to the tombstone of the 3rd generation of Hokage, Sarutobi Hibiki. 3 generations. I'm sorry, I'm going to offend you today. Quote. After Naruto finished speaking, he used ninjutsu to dig out the coffin of Sarutobi Hinata. And after digging up the coffin of the ape flying sun, Naruto also began to operate according to the steps of soil rebirth. Because he had practiced beforehand, Naruto quickly completed a series of procedures to turn around. After the process was completed, Naruto began to seal the seal. With the completion of the imprint, I soon saw the coffin of the ape flying sun slowly erected. The next moment, I saw that the coffin opened from the inside almost instantly. Ape Flying Sun Chopper also slowly walked out of the coffin at this moment. Naruto did not choose to erase all of Sarutobi's emotions and consciousness, the purpose was naturally to talk to him. At this time, when Ape Fei walked out of the coffin, his face also showed a complicated expression. What's going on? Quote, me, where am I? Ape Fei couldn't help but start looking around, and when he saw the familiar environment, he couldn't help but smile. But the next moment, as if he remembered something, his eyes immediately turned to Naruto on the side. Naruto, how did you end up here? Are you dead too? Quote. Ape Fei looked surprised, and even a little annoyed. Apparently he didn't want anything to happen to Naruto, after all, he had also regarded Naruto as his own grandson. When Bofeng Shuiman died, he personally promised Bofeng Shuiman to take care of Naruto. It's just that for so many years, he didn't do it, which he felt very guilty. Seeing Naruto at this time, Sarutobi didn't know how to face the Wave-Wind Water Gate for a while. No, I shouldn't be here. Quote, wasn't I killed by the Great Snake Pill and went to that world? Why is it in Konoha's Hall of Fame? And Naruto, why do you have a shadow? Quote. Sarutobi looked at Naruto with a puzzled expression, and at this moment, Naruto finally put down the sealed hand. Looking at the state of the Ape Flying Sun at this time, Naruto finally breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. Obviously, his dirt rebirth was considered successful, and Ape Flying Sun Chopper has now become his puppet. Yo, 3 generations, long time no see. Welcome back to Konoha Village. In front of the tombstone of the 3rd generation, Naruto and Sarutobi finally untied their hearts after some conversation. However, Miome soon asked Naruto about the rebirth of the soil. Apparently there is a reason why this ninjutsu is listed as forbidden, after all, this ninjutsu is too dangerous. Don't worry, 3 generations of grandfathers, I have thoroughly mastered this ninjutsu. Otherwise, you can't be easily resurrected. Now I hope you will be my help. Quote. Maybe more guys will make a move on Konoha in the future, it shouldn't be easy with me alone, and it's different with your help. At least it can make my side safer. When Naruto said this, he couldn't help but look at the Ape Flying Sun. At this time, Ape Flying Sun Chopper also began to think seriously. In fact, since he was dead, he felt that he should no longer keep too much obsession with the village. But now that he had the opportunity to fight to protect the village again, he was willing to try to stay. Of course, more importantly, now that he is no longer Hokage, it will be more convenient to stay with Naruto in the future. In this way, not only can he fulfill his promise to Wave-Feng Shuiman, but he can also repay the debt he owes Naruto for so many years. Thinking of this, Ape Flying Sun Chopper was finally relieved little by little. Haha, well, in that case, I'll stay with you. However, Naruto, promise me that you will never use this ninjutsu until you have a last resort. You don't know, some guys in the village have been secretly watching. Sarutobi Hinata was naturally talking about Danzo guy, but if he knew that Naruto had repaired Danzo, I don't know how he would feel. Naruto did not tell Sarutobi Hibiki about this, and at this moment, after strengthening his relationship with the 3 generations of Ape Hibiki, Naruto decided to let him return to the coffin for the time being. After all, as a 3rd generation Hokage, it is too eye-catching, and it will not be good if it is discovered. In this way, Naruto soon took the Ape Flying Sun back. After all this, Naruto quietly slipped back to his apartment and rested. After a night of silence, Naruto learned that Sakura had become Tsunade's mother-in-law's apprentice. In order to motivate Sakura, Naruto also accompanied her to practice for a whole day. During this day, Naruto also learned a lot of new medical ninjutsu from Tsunade, which made Naruto benefit a lot. Soon it was evening again, and after everyone went home, Naruto came to the ramen shop alone. Upon seeing Uncle Ichiraku, Naruto teased. Nah, Uncle Ichiraku, honestly, are you a ninjutsu who can pull the wind very well? Always hiding in Konoha as an undercover agent. Naruto was joking while eating noodles, and Uncle Ichiraku couldn't close his mouth with a smile. After eating the ramen, Naruto planned to go back to rest, but soon he thought of another place. This place was exactly where they had fought with the 4 of them before. So soon Naruto took advantage of the night to sneak out of the village and came to the place where he had fought. Here, Naruto quickly found the bodies of the 4 Otonobu. Although some of them are unrecognizable, they are completely enough to be used to perform dirt rebirth. So Naruto did not delay, and directly used the filthy soil reincarnation against the 4 people of Otonobi. In Naruto's opinion, a few of their strength is also good, and it is appropriate to stay by his side as a thug or something. As for the ape flying sunslash, it is a whole card that will attract attention as soon as it appears, and it cannot be used easily. Thinking of this, Naruto decisively sealed his hands and summoned the 4 people of Otonobi. And just when Naruto summoned the 4 of Otobi, the 4 were also stunned. Because Naruto left them with feelings and consciousness, they hated it when they saw Naruto. When several people were about to attack Naruto, Naruto used dirt reincarnation to control them. What's going on? The body is out of control. What the hell is going on? Naruto, what the hell do you want to do? Quote. The 4 of them questioned Naruto, and at this point Naruto pointed to their bodies and spoke. You are dead now, I resurrected you. From now on, you will be my subordinates. If you don't agree, I can also make you completely unconscious. Quote. But that will have a great impact on your strength, I don't want a few wastes around. After Naruto explained simply, finally the 4 of Otobu reacted. And when they learned that their current bodies were completely different from before, the 4 finally laughed. Great, no need to be controlled by the big snake pill anymore. I've long been tired of that sinister guy, and now I'm finally free. Haha, although I am dead, I am willing to have such freedom. Quote. Instead of having any resistance at this time, the 4 of them were somewhat happy, which Naruto really did not expect. Seeing that the 4 seemed to have made up their minds, Naruto was relieved. Well, I'll do whatever I want you to do in the future. Now you can go back. After Naruto finished speaking, he directly put them all away. In this way, after the 4 people of Otobi were also completely resurrected, Naruto had more confidence in his heart. Ha, now if you meet a member of the Shao organization, you should be able to deal with it. Quote. It seems to touch them. Naruto felt that with his current strength, coupled with the help of the Otobi 4 and Sarutobi Hinata, it was enough to face those guys in the Shao organization. Of course, even if you can't fight, it's still no problem to escape. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but feel a little happy. And just as Naruto was happily preparing to return to the village, suddenly several voices came from the forest not far away. Following the sound, Naruto couldn't help but frown. Huh, anyone there? Is it Konoha's ninja? Quote. Naruto rushed directly towards a short distance as he spoke. However, when Naruto arrived at a nearby clearing, he found that one of Konoha's ninjas was lying on the ground. Looking at his forehead, he should be a superior shinobi, but he is already scarred and dying. Seeing this, Naruto immediately began to treat him with his own medical ninjutsu. Just without waiting for Naruto to heal the man, in the surrounding darkness, someone appeared again. Ha, what people dare to spread wild in Konoha? Quote. Naruto looked warily at the few people who suddenly appeared, and then questioned. And just as Naruto questioned, those people finally appeared. Gee, it's a child. Kill it with him. Quote. They must not be allowed to bring the news back. Several people who suddenly appeared did not seem to take Naruto seriously at all, which made Naruto very unhappy. However, it was not happy, and Naruto did not act rashly. Obviously, the few people who suddenly appeared should have come prepared, and as for what their purpose is, this needs to be clarified. So when the other party somewhat ignored Naruto, Naruto decisively began to make a seal. The next moment, I saw 4 coffins quickly emerging from the ground, and I couldn't help but jump those people. What's coming out? Yes, a coffin. What's going on? Quote. I don't know, it's so weird. You see, the coffin moved. Quote. Just when those people jumped under the coffin made by Naruto's reincarnation, Naruto had already jumped onto a large tree with the injured Konoha ninja below. The next moment, I saw Naruto's hands move, and the 4 people in the coffin immediately walked out. At this time, as soon as they walked out of the coffin, the 4 of Oto Nin began to move. Hey, the guys below are handed over to you. Naruto spoke to the 4 of Otobu from the tree. At this time, Hearing Naruto's words, the four of Otobi immediately moved their hands. I have to say that these four people cultivated by the big snake pill are really not bad, and their strength is very strong. After a while, the guys who suddenly appeared had been solved by the four people of Atano. Seeing that all the guys below were knocked down, Naruto took back the four of Otonobu. Phew, it's quite useful, this is the province of me-shot. Naruto also praised the rebirth of dirt at this time. And just when Naruto looked proud, finally the man he saved forced his eyes open. Naruto-kun, quick, hurry up and report to Tsunade-sama. Quote, prison, there is a riot. The situation is already somewhat uncontrollable. Quote, hurry up and let Tsunade-sama send reinforcements. The man who was rescued by Naruto suddenly fainted after saying these words. And at this time, Naruto also immediately reflected, so he hurriedly brought the injured man back to the village. When he returned to the village, Naruto immediately handed the man over to Tsunade. Just as Naruto was about to leave, Tsunade suddenly mentioned Orochimaru. Naruto was a little vague about the plot here, so he had to eavesdrop outside. However, because it was through a door, I didn't hear it clearly, but one thing that can be confirmed is that this matter is related to the big snake pill. But everything related to the great snake pill, Naruto naturally would not sit idly by. So without waiting for Tsunade's side to make any moves, Naruto rushed in the direction of the prison. In Naruto's opinion, with his current strength, even if he encountered the great snake pill, it was not a concern. Although the strength of the 3 generations of Hokage after his resurrection is not as strong as before, it is still possible to stop the big snake pill. Soon, Naruto arrived at the prison. However, when Naruto entered the prison, he found that it had been occupied by some prisoners. As for the ninjas in Konoha, they are all imprisoned at the moment. Among them are even Asuma and Sunset Red. Seeing that those prisoners were doing whatever they wanted in prison, Naruto couldn't help but frown. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively use his domineering to investigate the entire prison. After determining the location of all the prisoners, Naruto decisively used multiple shadow doppelgangers. At the same time, the 4 people of Odo Nin were also summoned. When everything was ready, Naruto decisively launched an attack on the prisoners. The strength of these prisoners is not weak, and some are still the superiors of other countries, so Naruto has to be cautious about the situation. Even Naruto at this moment even used the chakra of the 9 tails, just to use the spiral pill to solve the battle as soon as possible. And with the cooperation of Naruto's multiple shadow doppelgangers and the 4 of Otonobu, soon those prisoners in the prison were subdued. After subduing the rioting prisoners, Naruto came to the place where the officials Asuma and Sunset hung. At this time, when they saw Naruto, both Asuma and Sunset Red were surprised. You must know that they never thought that it would be Naruto who came to save them. In their eyes, Naruto was still the tail of the 10,000-year-old crane, and he couldn't even use the doppelganger technique. Naruto, how did you come here? Get out of here, it's dangerous. Quote. Asuma thought Naruto had sneaked in, so he persuaded Naruto to leave them alone. However, at this time, Naruto decisively kicked open the cell door where Asuma and Sunset Red were held, and walked in generously. Don't worry, Asuma-sensei, it's safe here. Those prisoners have been subdued by me. As Naruto spoke, he began to treat Asuma and Sunset Red. And just when Naruto was treating the 2 of them, this got the exact news from their mouths. It turns out that the riot here was caused by a man named Mizuki. As for that Mizuki, like Sasuke, he longed for power from Orochimaru. For such a guy, Naruto was still very disgusted. So after treating Asuma and Yuhi Red, Naruto decisively left the prison. In Naruto's opinion, the guy named Mizuki must know how to find Orochimaru. Now as long as you catch him, then you can ask about the whereabouts of the big snake pill. At that time, according to his news, find Orochimaru's lair, and you can find Sasuke. In fact, Naruto is not more concerned about whether he can find Sasuke. In contrast, Naruto hopes more to find Orochimaru. That guy can be said to be a factor of instability, and with him, a lot will happen. The only way not to be led by this guy is to make him his own puppet. Thinking that he had now mastered the ability to reincarnate in dirt, Naruto was a little looking forward to it. I don't know what the result will be if you reincarnate the big snake pill into dirt. Naruto couldn't help but speed up when he thought of this. And just when Naruto was chasing Mizuki alone, Tsunade on the other side had already sent someone to intercept Mizuki. The vanguard was Shizune and a few shinobi, and at this moment they had already found Mizuki's traces. However, just as they caught up with Mizuki, they were stopped by two shouts beside Mizuki. The strength of these two guys is not weak, one is called Wind God and the other is called Thunder God. At this time, when facing the Wind God and Thunder God, Shizune and several of them were not opponents at all. In this way, soon the silent group was already defeated by the God of Thunder and the God of Wind. By the time Naruto chased after him, Mizuki had already disappeared. So Naruto had to treat Shizune first. On the other side, Mizuki took Thor and Wind God and had already taken refuge in a farmhouse. And the people sent by Tsunade to reinforce are already on their way. Sister Shizune, wake up. Mizuki, where did they go? Naruto finally asked after treating Shizune. Shizune didn't want Naruto to get into danger, so he urged him more often to find help. But of course Naruto wouldn't listen to him, and in Naruto's opinion, by the time the helper arrived, Mizuki would probably have fled. So in order to otherwise Mizuki and them slip away, Naruto decisively chose to pursue alone. Now Naruto has a domineering appearance, so it is very easy to track. In the state of opening the domineering state, Naruto quickly found some clues. This is Konoha prison clothes. Quote, those guys must be nearby. Since the domineering nature also has a range limit, Naruto had to keep shuttling through various areas. After a while, Naruto finally stopped at the door of a farmhouse. Standing at the door of the farmhouse, Naruto noticed that there were three guys hidden in the farmhouse, which should be Mizuki and them. So in order not to startle the snake, Naruto decisively summoned Tayuya and asked him to come forward to check on his behalf. However, just as Tayuya, who was reborn in the dirt, knocked on the door of the farmhouse, there was a sound of rummaging through the boxes and cabinets in the farmhouse. Hearing that voice, Naruto had to rush straight in. And when Naruto rushed into the farmhouse, he found that the people inside had fled. Fortunately, the other party did not escape far, so Naruto quickly followed the trail. This chase went all the way to the depths of the forest, and just when Naruto was about to catch up with them, the other party suddenly scattered. Seeing this, Naruto decisively used multiple shadow doppelgangers and began to follow the people. However, just when Naruto thought that he could easily track them, those people suddenly turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. Naruto never expected that the other party was also using a doppelganger technique. Seeing the person in front of him suddenly disappear, Naruto couldn't help but frown. And just when Naruto thought that he had lost the trace of those people, suddenly a figure appeared not far behind Naruto. Yo, Naruto-kun, long time no see. Quote, I didn't expect you to improve so much now. As soon as the man appeared, he greeted Naruto. At this time, Naruto also immediately locked on to the other party, and then looked up. Why, don't know me. I'm Mizuki, the one who guided you to steal the multiple shadow doppelganger back then. Alas, it's a pity that you will take revenge on me, and make me miserable. Do you know how I've been doing these years? Quote. When Mizuki said this, the expression on his face became gloomy. Apparently when the previous events sounded, his heart was full of resentment and anger. If Naruto hadn't defeated him, perhaps he wouldn't have been locked up in prison for the rest of his day. He even missed the best opportunity to follow the big snake pill, and thinking of this, Mizuki became more and more angry. Wow, I remember. Quote, so you're that guy. I really thank you back then, otherwise I wouldn't have learned the art of multiple shadow avatars, but then again, you were using me back then. How to say it as if I owe you, it's really shameful. Naruto was still very impressed with this guy, and if it weren't for this guy, Naruto might not have finished his career. Of course, if it weren't for the luck to learn multiple shadow doppelgangers back then, he might have been succeeded by this guy a long time ago. Thinking that this guy in front of him was preparing to take multiple shadow doppelgangers to the big snake pill, Naruto was angry. HMPH. The faceless person is you. Quote, I'll let you see how powerful I am today. I'm going to catch you in front of Lord Orochimaru, which is a meeting gift I gave him. Ha ha ha. Quote, Mizuki turned around directly after speaking, looking like he was about to escape. Seeing this, Naruto naturally would not ignore it, so he quickly chased after him. But just as Naruto caught up, Mizuki's face couldn't help but show a sinister smile. Soon the two of them were shuttling through the forest like this, and I don't know how long it took. Just as Naruto was about to catch up with Mizuki, a large clearing suddenly appeared ahead. Coming to the clearing, Mizuki suddenly stopped. Naruto was puzzled, stopping in such a place. Mizuki's brain was not broken. You must know that there is no shelter nearby, so he can't escape at all. However, just when Naruto was a little puzzled, Mizuki suddenly clapped his hands. The next moment, I saw two fat men instantly fall from the sky and appear directly in front of Naruto. Lang Budding appeared two fat men and directly pressed his arm. Naruto couldn't help frowning. Haha, Thor and Wind God have controlled your hands, and you can't use multiple shadow avatars now. I see how you still struggle. Mizuki's impression of Naruto seemed to be years ago. He didn't know that Naruto's strength had grown by leaps and bounds now. So when he looked at Naruto with some schadenfreude, Naruto decisively used an armed color domineering. With the blessing of armed color domineering, Naruto's body was hard as iron. Is it? You don't think you'll catch me that way, do you? Quote. Then you are thinking too naive. After Naruto finished speaking, he directly raised his foot and stepped on the feet of the Wind God and Thunder God. Because of the blessing of the armed color, the feet of the two gods of Fengshen and Thor were immediately stepped on by Naruto and deformed. Lang Budding felt the pain coming from his feet, and the two of Wind God and Thunder God instantly screamed. Ah, my feet. It hurts. Quote. Woo, help, I broke my bone. The two of Wind God and Thor shouted while holding their feet and spinning in circles in place. Looking at the somewhat funny look of the two, Naruto couldn't help but laugh. The next moment, Naruto decisively stepped back and kept his distance from them. However, just when Naruto thought he could get rid of them, he didn't expect that a detonation charm suddenly appeared behind him. The detonation charm exploded almost instantly, and the next moment Naruto was blown out in an instant. Do you really think I'll be that stupid? Quote. Of course I have a backhand. Naruto, obediently follow me to meet Lord Orochimaru. Quote. I'm sure he will be very interested in the 9 tails in your body. Mizuki saw Naruto being blown out, and couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth, his face full of pride. However, just when he thought that Naruto would inevitably be injured, Naruto adjusted his figure in midair, and then rushed towards him. With the blessing of domineering, Naruto's speed was too fast, and even Mizuki didn't have time to react. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively punch Mizuki's stomach. Mizuki didn't even have time to snort, but he was knocked to the ground, looking very embarrassed. And just as Naruto was about to go up and make up for another punch, the two gods of Wind and Thor finally rushed up again. I have to say that these two guys are really a little annoying. In order not to be caught by them, Naruto had to temporarily retreat. Mizuki said that he didn't expect that Naruto would become so strong now. When he got up from the ground with difficulty, his eyes were full of fanaticism. Naruto, you are really different from others. I didn't expect that in just such a short time, you have grown to this point. Even I'm getting more and more interested in you. Mizuki began to greet the Wind God and Thunder God beside him as he spoke. The next moment, I saw Mizuki decisively dispensing some kind of medicine to the two of them. After getting the medicine, the two Wind God and Thunder God instantly became excited, and the next moment they decisively took it. Hey, Naruto, let the two brothers Kazeshin and Thor play with you first. I still have some things to do. We'll see you later. Quote. After speaking, Mizuki decisively handed Naruto to the two brothers Kazeshin and Thor. And at this moment, after eating the medicine given by Mizuki, the gazes of the two brothers Fengshen and Thunder God began to change. Seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help but frown. Boy, I'm going to eat you. Quote. When Naruto stared warily at Mizuki and the Wind God Thor, Thor suddenly became irritable. The next moment, I saw that his body immediately swelled several times, and then rushed directly towards Naruto. Seeing this, the Wind God also stomped his foot hard, and the next moment followed the Thunder God and rushed towards Naruto. As for Mizuki, seeing that Naruto had been dragged by the God of Wind and Thunder, he decisively fled in the direction of Konoha village. Naruto originally wanted to go straight after Mizuki over the two big fat men, but before Naruto could move, he was already stopped. At this moment, perhaps under the effect of drugs, the strength of the wind god Thunder god has improved. So much so that no matter how much Naruto dodged, it seemed that there was no way to shake them off. Seeing this, Naruto also had to solve these two people first, and then go after Mizuki. However, it obviously seemed that thinking was a little simpler, and the two guys in front of him seemed to suddenly become difficult. In particular, their attacks seemed to become weird, and Naruto almost suffered several times. But just when Naruto was a little impatient by these two guys, finally Shikamaru's voice came not far away. Shikamaru was also by Shika-sensei. "Yo, Naruto, are you okay? We're here to help you." Quote. Iruka-sensei shouted at Naruto at this time. Hearing Iruka-sensei's voice, Naruto couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Just now, Naruto was almost ready to use dirt reincarnation to deal with the two guys in front of him. Now it seems that there is no need to bother with that matter, just hand them over to Shikamaru in the back. So soon Naruto jumped to the big tree on the side, and then opened his mouth to Shikamaru and Iruka-sensei, who hurried over. "Shikamaru, Iruka-sensei, these two guys will be handed over to you." Quote. "I'm going to chase Mizuki. That guy seems to have some conspiracy." Quote. Naruto didn't explain too much, and after saying that, he chased in the direction where Mizuki disappeared. Seeing this, Iruka-sensei was originally going to join Naruto. It was only when he found that the two guys in front of him were also very tricky, that he dispelled the idea of joining Naruto. On the other hand, Mizuki soon returns to the village after fleeing alone. In the village, he used to have a secret residence, but now it is abandoned. Fortunately, there was no one to guard here, and soon Mizuki came to his residence, and then took a lot of things with him. These things were left behind by Mizuki before, and Mizuki quickly stopped in a cave outside the village with them. With this ability to see and smell, Naruto also hung tightly behind Mizuki. When he entered the cave, Naruto decisively followed. However, just as Naruto entered the cave, he found that there was a sudden change in front of his eyes. Lang Budding saw that the scene in front of him was a little illusory, and Naruto couldn't help but mutter. "Oops, it's magic." Quote. At this time, Naruto had seen through Mizuki's tricks, so he decisively used his domineering power to launch a defense. The next moment, I saw Mizuki's attack fall on Naruto almost instantly. Fortunately, Naruto has a domineering protective body, so he didn't let Mizuki succeed. "So hard. What the hell is hidden in you guy?" Quote. Mizuki saw that his attack could not help Naruto at all, so he had to withdraw the illusion. Obviously, in a defensive state like Naruto, even with the help of illusion, it will not help. "What the hell are you trying to do? I advise you to obediently follow me back to see old lady Tsunade. Otherwise, I'm welcome." Naruto didn't bother to talk more nonsense to Mizuki and directly gave him an ultimatum. It's just that when Naruto's voice fell, Mizuki sneered again. "Ha, go back. How can a place like Konoha be worthy of a genius like me?" Quote. "In that place, they will only restrain me with rules. Look down on me. I've had enough." Quote. "I'm going to Lord Orochimaru, that's my paradise." Mizuki praised the big snake pill a little fanatically. Obviously he had sunk too deep and was not ready to turn back at all. Seeing this, Naruto stopped talking nonsense and directly chose to make a move on Mizuki. However, just as Naruto was about to deal with Mizuki in front of him, Mizuki suddenly drank a red liquid. After the liquid entered the mouth, I saw Mizuki's body immediately change. Especially the skin, soon showed the kind of spell marks on Sasuke's body. Seeing the traces of the spell mark, Naruto couldn't help but frown. "Spell seal, you guy actually has the spell mark of the big snake pill." Quote. "No wonder you want to follow the big snake pill so desperately." Naruto knew very well that this kind of spell mark would bring a lot of increase, and Sasuke was also addicted to it. In order to obtain this kind of power, there are many people flocking to the great snake pill. However, this kind of thing is not actually safe, and there is a great risk. If you can't control this spell seal, you may even be eaten back. Thinking of this, Naruto decisively opened his mouth at Mizuki. Mizuki, stop it. This thing is too dangerous. Quote, Naruto tried to stop Mizuki, only apparently it was too late. After drinking the red liquid, Mizuki's eyes changed, and his body changed shape in an instant. Looking at Mizuki's somewhat terrifying body, Naruto suddenly felt a trace of helplessness. However, just as Naruto shook his head, Mizuki had already decisively chosen to strike. I have to say that with the blessing of that liquid, Mizuki's strength seems to have become much stronger than before. Even Naruto felt tricky at the moment. This guy's speed and strength have skyrocketed dozens of times. Ninjutsu can even be used without sealing, which is really unexpected. But that's the end of it. If not, you will continue to run wild. Quote, Naruto seemed ready to deliver a fatal blow to Mizuki at this point. However, at this moment, Naruto's mind suddenly sounded the sound of a system prompt. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote, Option 1. Defeat Mizuki. Mission reward. Mighty Fireball Art. Option 2. Give up the fight and run away immediately. Mission reward. 10 Big B pockets. Listening to the prompt tone of the system in his head, Naruto's face couldn't help but change. Eileen, play with me, this system is too unserious. Quote, there are actually 10 such a reward, what a dog. I pick one. I pick one. Quote, Naruto yelled at the system in anger. And after accepting the selection task, Naruto instantly became serious. Although the reward of choosing one is not very good, it is much better than getting 10 big BS on it. So the next moment, Naruto decisively used multiple shadow doppelgangers to create hundreds of doppelgangers. Mizuki, I used this trick to defeat you in the first place. Now let you relive those memories from before. As Naruto spoke, he gave each shadow avatar an armed color domineering, and at the same time began to create a large jade spiral pill. However, just as Naruto was making the great jade spiral pill, Mizuki decisively rushed towards Naruto's doppelganger. At this moment, Mizuki was basically close to the state of violent walking, so Naruto's shadow doppelganger was quickly knocked down by more than half. Seeing that there were fewer and fewer direct doppelgangers at this time, and there was no way to create the great jade spiral pill, Naruto sealed again. This time, Naruto directly mobilized the nine-tailed chakra, and with the blessing of the nine-tailed chakra, Naruto's doppelganger occupied a real cave almost instantly. Oh, I have a lot of such things as doppelgangers. Continue to make the great jade spiral pill. As soon as Naruto gave the order, he saw that all the shadow doppelgangers began to rub the big balls. Seeing that Naruto actually made so many doppelgangers, Mizuki became even more irritable. Especially thinking that he was defeated by this move in the first place, Mizuki was even more angry. So the next thing I saw was that his body changed again, and even huge wings grew. Seeing this scene, Naruto thought of Sasuke's spell ability again. Naruto, go to hell, I'll kill you. Quote, when Mizuki's body changed again, he roared at Naruto. And just when Mizuki wanted to launch a more violent attack, Naruto's shadow avatar had already prepared dozens of large jade spiral pills. The power of this big jade spiral pill is not covered, and soon I saw Naruto's order, and a bunch of big jade spiral pills instantly fell from the sky and smashed directly on Mizuki. Mizuki didn't even have time to react when he was hit by Naruto's great jade spiral pill. Feeling the power in the great jade spiral pill, Mizuki couldn't help but twist his expression. The next moment, I saw that his body that used the spell mark to change was also instantly disintegrated under the action of the great jade spiral pill. He was quickly knocked to the ground by Naruto. Although he was very unwilling in his heart, Mizuki could no longer fight back at this moment. And at the moment he was in the end, his body also began to twist. Obviously, he is not proficient in the mastery of the spell seal at all, and he still forcibly enhances it through drugs, which is even more unreliable. Looking at Mizuki on the ground at this time, Naruto couldn't help but let out a long sigh. It was also at this time that Shikamaru and Iruka-sensei finally rushed over. Originally, they wanted to come and help Naruto, but when they saw that Naruto had solved Mizuki, they were also a little helpless. Yo Naruto, every time you don't wait for us to come. We don't even have a chance to perform. Quote, it seems that we still have to continue to get stronger, otherwise we won't be able to keep up with Naruto's speed. Shikamaru shook his head helplessly, and Naruto couldn't help but laugh when he saw this. In this way, after solving Mizuki, everyone returned to the village together. After reporting to Tsunade, everyone left separately. And after leaving Tsunade's office, Naruto also found a place to practice alone. The previous system reward is now in hand, and Naruto wants to try this fireball technique. You know, this is a ninjutsu that Sasuke is proud of, and now Naruto wants to see how far he can play. In the remote forest, Naruto's hands were sealed, and the next moment a huge fireball immediately spit out from his mouth. When the fireball spread, the surrounding trees were instantly leveled. Seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help but nod. Gee, it's good to have chakra full attribute mastery. This fireball technique is not restricted at all. For the power of the How fireball technique, Naruto was obviously quite satisfied. What he didn't know, however, was that even Sasuke had spent months practicing this ninjutsu. Now he has successfully mastered it in a day, and this talent is simply jealous. Soon, after mastering the art of the fireball, Naruto returned to the village again. Everything calmed down again as usual. However, just when Naruto wanted to use this time to continue to learn ninjutsu with several more attributes, Shino's squad received a new task. And this new mission is also related to Sasuke, because Shino and they are going to find the micro-insect this time. Naruto-kun, come with us. Hinata extended an invitation to Naruto when he saw him. However, Naruto was obviously not impressed, and despite Hinata's invitation, Naruto felt that it was a bit of a waste of time. However, just when Naruto wanted to refuse, a system prompt sounded in his mind again. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote. Option 1. Agree to Hinata's request and look for insects. Mission reward. White Eye ability. Option 2. Decline Hinata's invitation. Mission reward. Micro bug. As the prompt in his mind sounded, Naruto's face instantly turned green. Obviously, Naruto could not have imagined that the system actually gave such a reward. Micro insect. Is this mud horse kidding me? Quote. Wait, White Eye ability. I'll go. Isn't this system a stupid wave? Quote. For a while, Naruto was really a little difficult to choose. For the White Eye ability, Naruto actually wants to have it. After all, in the later development, the White Eye ability is very terrifying. As for this micro insect, it also happened to be something that Shino needed, and he could get it by refusing Hinata's invitation. Faced with these two choices at this time, Naruto couldn't help but be stunned in place. Naruto-kun, did you decide or not? Quote. Just when Naruto didn't know what to choose, Hinata asked again. Hearing Hinata's voice, Naruto came back to his senses. I pick one. Naruto finally made his choice after some deliberation. Relatively speaking, it was the ability to roll his eyes that attracted Naruto more. Although there is now a domineering appearance, it is completely comparable to the White Eye, but the later stage of the White Eye is not comparable to the sight and smell. As for the kind of thing like micro-insect, since it can be found, it can be compared to the reward of wasting the system. Thinking of this, Naruto also nodded at Hinata. Good, I'll go with you to find micro-bugs. Quote. Naruto decisively agreed, and after agreeing to Hinata, everyone went back to pack up and prepare for the next day. Naruto didn't have anything to prepare for the salute, so he went back and slept. Naruto slept until midnight. Missed meal time. I'm so hungry. Quote. Naruto was lying on the bed, tossing and turning a little unable to sleep, and there was no food at home, so he had to go out and try his luck. However, at this time, there were still places to operate in the village. Walking down the street, Naruto walked to the rows of tombstones in the village. Looking at those tombstones, Naruto suddenly felt a little lonely. So in order to relieve himself, Naruto used the dirt reincarnation and summoned the three generations out. Since Naruto did not have any control over the consciousness of the purpose of the three generations were equivalent to complete freedom. At this time, seeing that Naruto was a little sullen, Sandaime also began to enlighten him. Yo, Naruto, judging by your complexion, something is not quite right. Quote. What's wrong? What happened? Sandaime sat down next to Naruto, and Naruto also chatted with Sandaime. It turned out that Naruto was worried about Orochimaru at this time. After all, that guy was a destabilizing factor. And it seems that he also began to covet Naruto's body, which made Naruto a little worried. In Naruto's opinion, the ability of that guy in Orochimaru to create ninjutsu is very strong. The devil knows if he will come up with some powerful ninjutsu and catch himself off guard. And just when Naruto mentioned the big snake pill, the face of the third generation also showed a hint of anger. HMPH, that guy from Orochimaru. It's really a disgrace to the old man. Quote, how can I have such a disciple? I really want to solve him with my own hands. Sandaime was obviously resentful that he had just taken Orochimaru's hands. And just when Sandaime was a little angry, Naruto told him about the recent situation of Orochimaru on the side. When the third generation learned that Orochimaru had actually developed the ninjutsu of rebirth, his face changed instantly. You must know that since Orochimaru can be reborn, it means that he can also use ninjutsu, which is definitely a threat to Konoha. Of course, in addition to Konoha, it was a potential risk for Sasuke and Naruto. Thinking of this, the three generations couldn't help but worry about Naruto and Sasuke's back door again. No, you definitely can't let the big snake pill be so arrogant. Sandaime suddenly stood up at this time, and then looked at Naruto. Naruto, have you awakened the bloodline of the Vortex clan? I can feel the presence of that bloodline in your body. The three generations watched Naruto speak, and at this time Naruto no longer hid and nodded slightly. Yes, I do have the bloodline of the Vortex clan. In addition, I still have the bloodline of the Thousand Hands clan in my body. What's wrong? 3 generations of grandfathers. Naruto didn't understand why Sandaime asked that, and just when he wondered, Sandaime couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha ha, that's great. Quote, then now I'll teach you the most powerful sealing technique of the Vortex clan. Sandaime's words immediately made Naruto interested. Speaking of which, although he awakened the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan, Naruto could only use some conventional sealing techniques. Like the powerful sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan, Naruto really hasn't touched it. This may be related to the fact that there are not a few people left in the Vortex family, and many of those sealing techniques have been lost. And just when Naruto looked curious, the 3 generations decisively talked about the sealing technique that sealed the Great Snake Pill last time. 3 generations of grandfathers, are you talking about ghoul sealing? But that ninjutsu isn't that powerful, is it? Otherwise, why did you only seal a pair of hands of the Big Snake Pill? Quote, Naruto was obviously not very impressed with the sealing technique that Sandaime said. In Naruto's opinion, this sealing technique was not even as good as the gossip seal. But just when Naruto was unimpressed, Sandaime knocked on Naruto's head. You boy, you know a fart. This ghoul seal was created by the Vortex clan, and I'm not a member of the Vortex clan, so of course I can't exert its true power. But you are different, you have the blood of the Vortex clan in your body. You can take this technique to the extreme. Quote, when Sandaime said this, he began to tell Naruto about the legend of the ghoul seal. And after listening to the explanation of the 3 generations, Naruto reacted. It turned out that the 3 generations did not use this sealing technique to the extreme because they did not have the bloodline of the Vortex family. Therefore, at that time, he only managed to seal the hands of the Big Snake Pill, and there was no way to completely seal his soul. According to the description of the purpose of the 3 generations, if the Uzumaki clan came to cast this sealing technique, I am afraid that even the 9 tails would tremble. You can imagine how terrifying this ninjutsu really is. Now I decided to give this ninjutsu to you. How's it going, Naruto? Do you want to learn from me? Quote, just as Naruto digested what Sandaime said, Sandaime spoke again. At this time, the 3 generations looked at Naruto with a very soft gaze, as if they were looking at their grandson. Of course, what he had in mind was not just to give Naruto this ninjutsu. What he wanted to do more at the moment was to teach Naruto everything. In the eyes of the 3 generations, Naruto's future is bound to be extremely brilliant. And he was going to add some color to Naruto's future glory at this moment. In addition to the ghoul seal, the old man is ready to hand over all his life's learning to you. So Naruto, next, be prepared. Quote, the 3 generations began to talk about the essentials of the ghoul seal. Naruto also listened extremely carefully at this time. Obviously there were not many such opportunities. You must know that Sandaime is a very special existence, and he knows a lot of ninjutsu. And Naruto happened to have the all-attribute chakra mastery blessing, which coincided. In this way, in the following time, the 3 generations not only sealed the ghoul to Naruto. At the same time, he also taught Naruto many new ninjutsu, and these ninjutsu were powerful enough to arm Naruto to the teeth. Of course, because Naruto's current chakra cultivation is not enough, these ninjutsu can only be greatly reduced. Naruto, boost your chakra cultivation. Quote, sooner or later, you will become an existence beyond me. But after a night, Naruto barely rested, constantly practicing the ninjutsu that Sandaime had taught him. It wasn't until early the next morning, close to the time agreed with Hinata, that Naruto stopped. At the mouth of the village, when Naruto appeared, the 3 Hinata had been waiting for a long time. Naruto-kun, you're finally here. I thought you weren't going. Just now we went to your house to look for you and found that you were not at home. Hinata suddenly reached out as he spoke and handed Naruto a rice ball. But when she handed out the rice balls, her face was already crimson. Naruto had been hungry since last night, and as soon as he saw the rice ball, he pounced directly. Arigato Black Nata. Taking the rice ball, Naruto gulped down. Seeing this, Ya and Shino on the side couldn't help but roll their eyes. Soon, the 4 of them walked towards the forest outside the village. The next place they are going to is where the micro-insect lives. However, because the road was a little far away, Naruto did not rest yesterday, so on the way there, Naruto hit the tree several times. By the time he came to the place infested with insects, Naruto had already hit his nose and face swollen. This is where micro-insect haunts. But it's a little too late, let's set up camp here first. Insects only come out during the day. Shino knows a lot about micro-insects, so get ready to take a break and search. Seeing this, Naruto didn't even have a tent, so he just lay down on the grass and fell asleep. Hinata on the side hurriedly covered Naruto with a blanket at this time to prevent him from catching a cold. Soon, several people set up tents in an open space and rested. However, just as several people were preparing to rest, in the darkness not far away, several figures suddenly appeared. Those few people stared at Naruto and the others, obviously with some ill intentions. Because they were too tired to rush during the day, Naruto didn't even notice that anyone was staring at them. Fortunately, nothing happened overnight, and by the next morning, several people were revived with blood. The next thing Naruto had to do was look for the micro-insect, and after Shino showed everyone the photo at this time, everyone began to act separately. However, this micro-insect looked too much like a unicorn fairy, so Naruto found the wrong one several times. And just when Naruto and the others split up, finally the few people who had been eyeing them began to act. In the forest, Hinata was searching for insects, but soon a swarm of bees appeared behind her. As soon as those bees appeared, they decisively shot beeswax at Hinata. Under the influence of beeswax, Hinata quickly lost her mobility. Hinata wanted to shout to remind Naruto a few people, but before she could open her mouth, she was already sealed by beeswax. Hehe, Konoha's ninja are really vulnerable. Take a little girl and exchange insects with those guys, this time we will save us to find it. It was a woman who spoke, and they also came here to find insect. It's just that they've been here for many days without getting anything. It wasn't until Naruto and the others arrived here that they were ready to let Naruto use them as free labor. Hinata struggled desperately at this time, but the beeswax seemed to be specially made, and there was no way to break free. Just when Hinata was a little worried about Naruto and Shino and them, she thought that soon Naruto would appear in front of her. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively strike and directly snatch Hinata back from the woman's hand. At the same time, Naruto had already prepared the spiral pill in his hand, and directly peeled off all the beeswax on Hinata's body. Seeing that the hostage she had finally captured was actually rescued by Naruto, the woman couldn't help but frown. Little ghosts. How did you find out? Quote, the woman was a little curious, obviously they had hidden it well, but in the end they were recognized by Naruto. At this time, the woman also became interested in Naruto. Oh, Actually, I found you guys yesterday. Just too lazy to care about you. Quote. Now you dare to make a move against my companion, then you can't blame me. Naruto actually used his domineering aura to probe the surroundings as soon as he arrived here. With this alertness, Naruto spotted the woman and her two companions early in the morning. It's just that they have been hiding in the shadows, and Naruto is too lazy to deal with it. Now that the other party has made a move, Naruto naturally won't let them do whatever they want. At this time, seeing that she could no longer use hostages to threaten Naruto, the woman couldn't help but sneer. Ha, do you think that if you save her, you can slip through our hands? Quote. Take both of you down now, and then let your companion take the micro-incense worm to exchange it. The woman winked at her two companions as she spoke, when the three began to attack almost simultaneously. Seeing this, Naruto decisively rushed forward and stopped the three together. Hinata, you go find Shino and them, leave it to me here. Naruto was not afraid of the three people in front of him in the slightest, but Hinata and Naruto would not be able to play well here. So as soon as the fight began, Naruto was ready to split Hinata. But Naruto-kun alone, wouldn't it be dangerous? Hinata's heart for Naruto has never changed, and at this time she is more worried about Naruto's safety. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I will marry you in the future. How could something happen here? Quote. Naruto continued to speak while parrying the attacks of the men. Ha, Naruto-kun, what do you say? Hinata saw Naruto insist, so he had to run away with a red face. And after Hinata ran away, Naruto boldly coped. HMPH, little ghost, your body just now is good, but can you only hide? We people in the Shangshilyu clan don't fight with waste. The woman also said her identity at this time, and Naruto couldn't help but be happy after hearing this. It turned out that they were a Kamishwiryu clan similar to Shino and their clan. This family is also very good at manipulating bugs, but they seem to have messed with the wrong target now. Naruto had previously learned the art of fireballs, and the worms were most afraid of fire. So soon Naruto began to use fire attribute ninjutsu against the few people in front of him. I have to say that the fire attribute ninjutsu really worked, and soon the three people of the Shangshilyu clan were forced to retreat. They said that they didn't expect Naruto to be so difficult. Seeing that the three of the Kamizuryu clan seemed to want to escape, Naruto decisively used the sealing technique. The next moment, I saw that the three of them were instantly sealed by Naruto. It was also at this time that Shino and they finally rushed over. Seeing that Naruto was intact, Hinata finally breathed a sigh of relief at this time. Previously, when Naruto fought with those guys, Hinata was afraid that Naruto would be harmed. So in a hurry, she directly found Shino and Ya with her white eyes, and then rushed over. At this time, seeing that Naruto was safe and sound, the three hurriedly came to Naruto. What about the guys? Shino asked. And while Shino was watching left and right, always on alert for the enemy, Naruto pointed to the seal in the distance and opened his mouth. I've sealed them. They all seem to be from the Shangshilyu family, you should know. Naruto told Shino the identity of the other party, and when he heard the name, Shino couldn't help but nod. In the ninja war a long time ago, the Kamizuryu clan sided with the land of Earth. Shino's family, on the other hand, is on the side of Konoha, the land of fire, and the two families have also clashed. Later, Shino's family was victorious, and there were few people left of the Kamizuryu clan. Thinking of these things, Shino couldn't help but sigh. Obviously choosing the right camp was very important. It was also at this time that Naruto decisively released the few people. When Shino saw these people, he couldn't help but open his mouth to them. There are not many of you Shangshilyu clans left. I advise you not to be enemies of Konoha. Quote. Now that you are Naruto's defeated subordinates, as long as you promise us to help find Micro Worm, I will let you go. Shino looked at the people of the Shangshilyu clan as he spoke, and then the people nodded slightly. However, their gazes never left Naruto. Apparently they did not expect Naruto to be so strong at all. However, what they didn't know was that although Naruto was a lower shinobi, his strength was far beyond some of the upper shinobi. Even in Konoha village, Naruto now can't find many opponents. Naruto knew in his heart that if he learned all the ninjutsu that Sandaime had given him, he would become stronger. You must know that Konoha's third generation Hokage is the longest living generation of Hokage. And the most powerful thing about Sandaime is that he is good at ninjutsu with various attributes. In the whole of Konoha, no one knew more than him, and his knowledge of ninjutsu was simply beyond his reach. It is said that the third generation of Hokage uses thousands of ninjutsu and is proficient in these ninjutsu. That's why he's called the ninja professor. The thought that he could master thousands of ninjutsu at once made Naruto feel excited when he thought about it. In the next few days, Naruto was idle because of the free labor of the Kamizuru family. So in his spare time, Naruto continued to learn ninjutsu from the 3 generations of Hokage. This study took more than a week. It wasn't until Shino and them found the micro-insect that they were ready to go home. As for the 3 people of the Kamizuru clan, they were eventually let go by Naruto and them. Although the other party seemed to be very unwilling, in front of Naruto, they had no room to fight back. So in the end, they could only watch as the micro-incense worm fell into Naruto's hands. Soon, after returning to the village with the micro-insect, Naruto stopped caring about what happened next. After saying goodbye to Shino and them, Naruto hid in a remote place alone to practice. Because there was a Hokage-level old man of the 3 generations to guide alone, Naruto's progress was visible to the naked eye. Naruto also became stronger as he learned more and more ninjutsu. Even for such endless practice, Naruto gradually fell in love with this feeling. Although it was a little boring, Naruto would be very excited every time he mastered a ninjutsu. Naruto, you have almost mastered the ninjutsu of the fire attribute. The next thing I'm going to hand over to you is the ninjutsu of the earth attribute. Earth attribute ninjutsu is more suitable for defense, but it is still more troublesome to practice. You have to study carefully. Quote. The 3rd generation of Hokage was very pleased to see that Naruto had mastered the ninjutsu of the fire attribute. So he was ready to continue teaching him other ninjutsu, and just as Sandaime was about to continue teaching, Naruto was already tired. No, 3 generations of grandfathers, let me rest. I'll go eat a bowl of ramen. Naruto slipped away from the place of practice and then rushed into the ramen shop. After drying a few bowls of ramen, he left satisfied. However, just as Naruto was about to go back to practice, Kakashi appeared in Naruto's field of vision. Yo, Naruto, why haven't I seen you lately? Quote, where are you hiding and lazy again? As soon as Kakashi saw Naruto, he pressed Naruto's head and asked. Seeing this, Naruto decisively used ninjutsu and escaped Kakashi's control. Kakashi was also surprised at this time. He didn't expect Naruto to escape ninjutsu like this. Gee, it seems that your strength has increased, just in time that Tsunade-sama wants to see you. After Kakashi finished speaking, he took the lead and walked towards the building where Hokage was. Seeing this, Naruto had to follow. What is old lady Tsunade looking for me for? Shouldn't you want to give me another task? Quote. But I don't have time. I'm busy, Kakashi-sensei. Quote. Can you help me talk to old lady Tsunade? Naruto has recently turned down a lot of assignments in order to practice ninjutsu with Sandaime. If Tsunade hadn't been able to find him, he might have beaten him up a long time ago. For Naruto's request, Kakashi decisively refused. You better tell Naruto-sama yourself. If I don't bring you back this time, she'll really be furious. Kakashi urged Naruto, and soon the two arrived in front of the Hokage building. At this time, there were already many people standing there, and the 5th generation Hokage Tsunade was also among them. Naruto, you stinky boy, why are you going these days? Quote. You'd better give me a reasonable explanation. As soon as Tsunade saw Naruto, he began to shout loudly. Hearing Tsunade's words, Naruto smiled awkwardly. Haha, that, old woman, of course I'm practicing. Really, I didn't lie to you, I'm pretty strong now. Naruto didn't dare to get too close, for fear that Tsunade would smash his fist on his head. And just as Naruto said what he was practicing, Tsunade couldn't help but sneer. Oh, practice, then let me see the results of your practice. And Sakura, quote. You two together, against Kakashi, I want to see the results of your practice. Tsunade said and looked at Sakura beside him, who was also full of confidence at this time. Yes, Tsunade-sama, quote. Sakura stood with Naruto as he spoke, and Kakashi on the side laughed. I miss it so much. The last time such an assessment was 4 people. Quote, Kakashi pulled out a bell as he spoke, and looking at the bell, Naruto and Sakura remembered Kakashiban, who had practiced together. Chapter 51. When the 3 were assigned to Kakashiban, they had been running in for a long time. During that time, there were many stories that happened. However, at this moment, it was difficult for them to gather again, and Sasuke had already gone to Orochimaru at this moment. Alas, I don't know how Urzuzi is now. Naruto couldn't help but sigh, and just then Sakura immediately spoke. Naruto, don't think about anything else first, face Kakashi-sensei's assessment well. Sakura had rolled up her sleeves at this time and looked at Kakashi confidently. Seeing this, Kakashi also smiled, and then began the assessment of winning the bell. A long time ago, when Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke participated in the assessment for the first time, they looked particularly embarrassed. At that time, their strength was not a star and a half worse than Kakashi. However, it is really difficult to say who will die this time. After all, Naruto and Sakura's growth is not a little, their strength has reached a new level. Come on, let me see how much your strength has improved. Kakashi picked up the bell and shook it as he spoke, and at this moment Naruto had already taken the lead. Multiple shadow doppelgangers. Naruto drank coldly, and instantly had countless more doppelgangers. Seeing these doppelgangers, Kakashi couldn't help but smile. Naruto, why is it still this ninjutsu that has not changed for 10,000 years? You can't win me in that case. Quote. Kakashi stimulated Naruto, but the next moment there was a cold wind behind him. Sensing that something was suddenly wrong behind him, Kakashi suddenly dodged. At the moment when he dodged, a large jade spiral pill suddenly flew over. Seeing that big jade spiral pill burst in the air, Kakashi couldn't help but frown. I have to say that Naruto's trick really almost worked. If not for his rich combat experience, maybe it would really be over. Not bad, Naruto. I actually know tactics. Quote, I'm satisfied. Kakashi extended a thumbs up at Naruto. But as Kakashi spoke, Naruto's second ninjutsu struck again. This time it was actually the art of the fireball, which inevitably surprised everyone present. You must know that this fireball technique is what Sasuke used to be best at, and now Naruto actually used it, which is really surprising. Naruto, how did you do this? Quote, Sakura remembered Sasuke's move well, so she asked decisively. Hey, I saw that the second pillar was used a lot, so I figured it out myself. Come on, Sakura, I'm in charge of pestering Kakashi-sensei, you take the bell. Naruto didn't explain much, and began to command Sakura at this time. Hearing Naruto's command, Sakura nodded decisively. In the following time, I saw that every time Naruto used ninjutsu, he would make corresponding deployments. Sakura was also in Naruto's deployment, pressing on step by step until he forced Kakashi out of his Sharingan. At this time, watching Naruto's increasingly fierce ninjutsu attacks, even Kakashi couldn't help but feel troubled. The growth of these two little guys simply surprised me. Especially Naruto, now his strength is ridiculously strong. But I always think that Naruto, this guy still has a hand. Kakashi watched carefully while dealing with Naruto and Sakura's attacks. Tsunade, who was not far away, also looked surprised at this time. Apparently Naruto's growth had shocked her. You must know that when she first met Naruto, Naruto was only able to cope with the medicine master's pocket. However, now he was able to force Kakashi's chakra eyes out, which was an amazing progress. Of course, Tsunade is more optimistic about Naruto's command ability and overall view. The previous Naruto command the rampage, reckless not to say, it was useless at all. However, now Naruto actually knows how to use tactics, and such growth simply excites Tsunade. In her opinion, the current Naruto is fully capable of becoming the leader of the mission squad. You know, the last one who was favored was Shikamaru. Shikamaru relied on high intelligence and strategy, and at this time, Naruto was getting closer and closer to Shikamaru's appearance. Water escape, water drift bomb, instantaneous technique, compound ninja law, earth dragon Yanryu. Just as Tsunade was surprised, Naruto was another gorgeous set of combos that greeted Kakashi directly. Seeing this scene, Kakashi and Tsunade were almost instantly stunned. Shish, this series of attacks reminds me of a person. In Kakashi's mind, the figure of the 3 generations of Hokage had already appeared at this time. Naruto's previous series of attacks were similar to the 3 generations of Hokage. Kakashi didn't know where Naruto learned it, but this set of attacks was absolutely amazing. Tsunade on the side also had surprise written on his face at this time. You must know that the 3rd generation of Hokage is her teacher, and he is familiar with the teacher's tricks. Looking at Naruto's figure at this time, she suddenly felt like she saw the teacher ape flying to the sun, and her heart could not be calm for a long time. Not far away, when Naruto used a set of silky ninjutsu, Sakura also closed her mouth in surprise. Originally, Sakura thought that her practice for so long could be compared to Naruto. But when she saw Naruto's performance, she suddenly felt that she was still far behind. In the past, Naruto was the tail of the crane in the class, but now Naruto has become a genius-like ninja. Such a realization really shocked and envied Sakura. Naruto-kun seems to be working harder than me. What reason do I have to stand still? Sakura made up her mind that she must continue to work hard. And just when everyone had different thoughts, Tsunade finally spoke again at the 3. Stop. No need to continue. Now Naruto and Sakura are fully adaptable to more difficult tasks. Kakashiban, gather at my office. Tsunade said and walked into the building, and Naruto and Sakura followed Kakashi into the building as well. And when the 3 arrived at Tsunade's office, a message from the Land of Wind appeared in front of them. Seeing that message from the Land of Wind, Naruto couldn't help but frown. The Shao organization made a move against the Land of Wind. So how is Ailuo now? Naruto is still more concerned about Arrow. After all, he still has the doppelganger of Sand no Moritsuru in his body. If something happens to Arrow, it means that Sand no Moritsuru may also fall into the hands of the Shao organization. And just when Naruto was worried about Aira, Tsunade decisively gave the order. I now order Kakashiban to quickly go to the Land of Winds on a mission. Mission objective: save the wind shadow of the country of wind, Sand I love Luo. Tsunade's voice echoed in the office, and Naruto was also a little looking forward to it at this time. After all, this time it is a new challenge to face the organization. In Hokage's office, Kakashiban quickly accepted this rather tricky task. Of course, in addition to Naruto, there are other classes that will also go together. However, just as Naruto and the others were about to leave for the Land of Wind, an alarm sounded in Konoha village. Hearing the siren, even Tsunade couldn't help but frown. What's going on? What happened outside? Quote, Tsunade asked his assistant Shizune, and then Shizune hurriedly sent a piece of information. Tsunade-sama. When the people in the village were patrolling just now, they found a large number of detonation charms in different places. Quote, the number of these detonators is enough to destroy the entire Konoha. Shizune reported this information with a very ugly face. And after hearing Shizune's words, Tsunade suddenly became angry and directly hammered the table in front of him with a punch. With this action, even Naruto was startled and hid directly in the corner. Naruto knew very well that if this old woman launched a rush, she would beat anyone if she was caught. And the strange power of his pair of fists is enough to hammer people into meat mud, and Naruto doesn't want to be her big sandbag. How can it be reasonable? Who dares to be so presumptuous in Konoha? Kakashiban, quickly find out about this. Rush to the aid of the Land of the Wind, wait until the Konoha crisis is lifted before we go. Tsunade gave the order, and Kakashi received it and immediately left the office with Naruto and Sakura. At this time, the whole village was already tense, and from time to time ninjas flew overhead. Seeing this scene, Naruto immediately used his domineering and searched the village. Seeing the domineering color, it seems that you can't find the detonation charm. Quote, Naruto couldn't help but shake his head at this time, obviously seeing that the domineering did not seem to have this function. But soon Naruto remembered the white eyes he had gained from completing the previous mission. So the next moment, Naruto decisively rolled his eyes. And when Naruto used the white eyes, he saw that his eyes immediately became like the Hinata family. Looking at Naruto's white eyes at this time, even Sakura on the side felt stunned. Naruto-kun, what's wrong with your eyes? Sakura was surprised, and couldn't help but roll her eyes, but it was unique to the Hyuga family, and no one else could have it. However, at this moment, Naruto's white eyes were real, which made Sakura suddenly puzzled. However, Naruto didn't have time to explain at this time, and Naruto at this time quickly discovered the location of the remaining detonation charms using his white eyes. So the next moment, Naruto decisively commanded Sakura. "Sakura, I've found the location of the detonator. You are now ready to drain it immediately." Quote. Naruto commanded Sakura, who nodded when she saw this. Just as Naruto and Sakura were about to rule out the detonation charm in the village, Hinata and Shino also rushed over. At this time, seeing that Naruto actually used a roll of his eyes, everyone was shocked. But because of the urgency, no one wasted time. "Follow the direction I pointed, everyone take action immediately." After some careful exploration, Naruto quickly said the location of all the detonation charms. Seeing this, everyone also immediately split up. And just as Naruto and the others were trying to rule out the detonation charm, Tsunade's side finally found out the ins and outs. It turned out that the detonation charms found in these were actually from the country of mountains. However, many years have passed since the war between Yamanoku and Konoha. At that time, it ended in the defeat of the mountain country, but I did not expect that the detonation charm left by the mountain country at that time was only discovered now. Just as Tsunade was thinking about how to solve this matter, another piece of information was sent. "Tsunade-sama, Naruto has found the location of all the detonation charms. Now we are arranging for people to eliminate one by one." Shizune told Tsunade the news, and Tsunade was also surprised when he heard it. How did he do it? Tsunade was obviously surprised, and couldn't help but want to find so many detonation charms, but it was not a simple matter. This kind of thing may not be possible even if you mobilize all the ninjas, but at this moment Naruto has done it. This was simply unimaginable for Tsunade. "I heard that Naruto seems to have used abilities similar to White Eyes. The specifics are not clear for the time being, but it's really a blank eye." Quote. Shizune continued, and when she mentioned rolling her eyes, Tsunade couldn't help but frown. Tsunade knew everything about Naruto's background. Naruto is neither a Hyuga clan nor a Hyuga clan of blood, so it is impossible to have white eyes. Unless Naruto is implanted the day after tomorrow, like Kakashi transplanted the Sharingan. However, this could not happen in Konoha, because the white eye was extremely important to the Hyuga clan. Even as a Hokage, he would not agree to such a thing. Thinking of this, Tsunade suddenly became puzzled. "Wait until the detonator is cleared, let Naruto quickly come to see me." Tsunade was a little worried at this time. After all, if this matter reached the ears of the Hyuga clan, I was afraid that something would happen. And just when Tsunade was worried about Naruto, the detonation charms in the village were also discovered one by one. Because of Naruto's precise positioning, the threat that came to Konoha was quickly lifted. By the time everyone was glad that no major harm had occurred, Naruto had already been taken to Tsunade's office. Looking at Naruto's regained eyes at this time, Tsunade looked curious. "Naruto, what the hell is going on with your white eyes?" Tsunade asked, but of course Naruto wouldn't tell him the truth. White eyes. Old woman, what are you talking about? Where do I have any white eyes?" Quote. The reason why I was able to find those detonation charms just now is because I created a number of perception-type ninjutsu of my own. Usually, I see Hinata's white eyes are very powerful, so I rolled my eyes and pretended to be forced. Don't get me wrong, Naruto explained the ins and outs, but Tsunade was very skeptical when she heard it, but she didn't have any proof. Self-created ninjutsu. Don't mess around, you guy. Quote. Creating your own ninjutsu is a very dangerous thing. Tsunade remembered Orochimaru at this time, and that guy liked to create his own ninjutsu. However, now that Orochimaru had fallen in self-created ninjutsu, she didn't want Naruto to do the same. Ahem, don't worry, old woman, I won't be like the big snake pill. Now I can go, everyone is still waiting for me to leave for the land of winds. Naruto said and prepared to leave. But just as Naruto was about to leave, Tsunade suddenly walked up to him and then extended his hand. Naruto thought that Tsunade was going to punch him directly, but the next moment Tsunade put his hand on top of his head. Naruto, go on a mission to the land of the wind, be careful. Quote, "Don't be impulsive. I'm here waiting for you guys to come back." Quote, Tsunade's words immediately filled Naruto's heart with emotion. "Don't worry, old woman. I'll come back alive." Quote, "You are also less angry, otherwise you will be older. Get out." Tsunade had a black line on his face. The country of the wind, a country built in the vast desert, the people are not rich. However, under the leadership of Wind Shadow, the people here survived strongly. Since the departure of 3 generations of Wind Shadow, Luo has become the new Wind Shadow. Because I love Luo's peculiarity, he has been used as a killing machine since he was a child. Very few people can empathize with Ira, but fortunately he has Tamari and Kankuro by his side. These 2 partners, who grew up with him, have been guarding this child who cannot sleep, who is tortured by the tailed beast. However, since Konoha's return, Sand no Ira seems to have changed. He was no longer as cold as he used to be, and he began to come into contact with other people. Seeing his transformation, Tamari and Kankuro were very pleased. All this change actually came from Naruto, and if it weren't for Naruto, Luo might still be alive in his own world. Originally, Tamari and Kankuro thought that days like this would last forever. However, this peaceful life did not last long and was shattered by the arrival of 2 members of the Shao organization. Just a few days ago, Shao organized a guy named Deidara to attack the sand-hidden village in the Land of Wind. And he also successfully defeated Sand Ira and took my arrow away from Sand-Hidden Village. Because the opponent is too strong, the ninjas of Sand-Hidden Village are really not opponents. So in order to save Hokage Sand no Ira, Sand-Hidden Village sent a message for help to the Alliance's Konoha. After receiving this information for help, Tsunade immediately sent Naruto's squad to the aid of Sunahide Village. However, just as Naruto and his party set off for Sand-Hidden Village, Lee of Sand-Hidden Village was divided into 2 factions. Obviously, as a former enemy, many people do not want to see the people of Konoha enter the Land of Wind. In their opinion, although Konoha is now an alliance, each has its own secrets. No one wants to be spied on secretly, otherwise once the war starts again, it will be a fatal blow. Of course, there are those who are against it, and naturally there are those who agree with it. After all, Konoha's strength is the strongest now. Although the Sand-Hidden Village is not weak, there are not many powerful ninjas, otherwise Luo would not have been captured. At this time, when the 2 sides were arguing, Maji of Sunahide Village only needed to invite Chio's mother-in-law and Kai Laozang out of the mountain. When Chio's mother-in-law learned that Sunahide Village asked Konoha for help, she also expressed her disapproval. However, since the news has been sent, now it can only wait for the arrival of the people of Konoha Village. On the other side, Naruto's squad quickly set off from Konoha to the village of Sunahide in the Land of Wind. As a friend of my arrow, Naruto was also worried about Iroh's comfort at the moment. Because he knew the importance of the tailed beast, Naruto didn't want Arrow to fall into the hands of the Sho organization. Although in the previous battle, Naruto had already sealed a part of the sand Moritsuru into his body. But the true essence is still in my Luo body, and if it is obtained by the known organization, it will be very tricky. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but speed up his pace. And just as Naruto was eagerly heading to the K's country Sand-Hidden Village, in a certain corner of Konoha, Danzo's brows furrowed. As the leader of the Root organization, Tuanzang has a lot of information about the Shao organization. At this time, when he learned that Hokage had been arrested and Naruto and the others were preparing to go to the rescue, Danzo couldn't help but worry. Shao organization's target is the tailed beast, it should be right. If Naruto has reached the Sand-Hidden Village, then it is equivalent to escaping Konoha's control. Once it falls into the hands of the Shao organization, then the consequences will be unimaginable. Tuanzang muttered to himself, and soon a solemn look appeared in his eyes. When he thought that Naruto might be captured by the Shao organization, Danzo finally couldn't sit still. Although the 9 tails in Naruto's body is a huge threat, there is no doubt that it is also the whole card of the village. You know, in many places, tailed beasts are hidden as weapons. It is impossible to take it out less than a last resort, and Naruto is Konoha's powerful weapon. For such a powerful weapon, it is absolutely impossible for Tuanzang to let him fall into the hands of others. Although he had lost at the hands of Naruto before, he knew that Naruto was not easy to mess with. But at the moment he decided to stop Naruto from leaving Konoha village. In the forest outside Konoha village, Naruto and his group were speeding through the towering trees. However, just as the group hurriedly moved forward, a kunai suddenly shot towards Naruto. Naruto felt Ku-Wu's approach, and directly shot and flew Ku-Wu out. The next moment, Naruto landed steadily on a thick tree trunk. Naruto snorted coldly and looked not far away. At this moment, Kakashi and Sakura also suddenly stopped and looked around alertly. At this time, just as Kakashi's team entered a state of battle, Danzo finally walked out from behind a large tree with his people. Seeing Danzo, both Naruto and Kakashi couldn't help but frown. Tuanzang, what do you want to do? Kakashi, as the captain of the squad, immediately questioned. Although Danzo's status in Konoha is not low, there is no time to respect him now. And just as Kakashi questioned Danzo, Danzo couldn't help but look at Naruto on the side. Naruto didn't expect Danzo to suddenly appear at this time. You must know that he had warned Tuanzo before to stop messing with himself. Now it seems that his warning has not made any difference. Kakashi, you should know what the Nine Tails mean to the village. Quote, the Shao organization is hunting tailed beasts, Naruto can't leave the village. Tuanzang did not mince words, and directly said what he thought. As for Danzo's idea, Kakashi suddenly didn't know how to answer after hearing it. Apparently Danzo was right, Naruto had always been used as a weapon. If the Shao organization was really hunting tailed beasts, then Naruto would indeed be targeted just like Ira. It was definitely not a wise choice to let Naruto leave Konoha village at such a time. However, while Kakashi was silent, Naruto suddenly spoke. Whether I can leave the village or not, I can decide myself. Don't bother you, get out of the way now, otherwise, don't blame me for not reminding you. Naruto opened his mouth at Danzo in a threatening tone. And after hearing Naruto's words, the regiment leader also had palpitations. After all, he had lost at the hands of Naruto before, and there were still shadows until now. However, the shadow returned to the shadow, and compared with the safety of the village, Tuanzang still chose the latter. Of course, since Tuanzang has already made a choice, he naturally did not come empty-handed. At this moment, Danzo was ready to go to war with Naruto again. The reason why Danzo is so confident is because he has finally made a breakthrough in the transplantation of Sharingan recently. In order to be able to leave Naruto behind, Danzo even did not hesitate to use this method that was forbidden by the village at the moment. And just when Danzo was ready for war, Naruto on the other side was already a little impatient. Good, Naruto, if you want to leave today, then pass him over the old man's corpse. Quote. Danzo waved his hand directly as he spoke, and his subordinates immediately attacked Naruto. And just as Danzo's subordinates began to move, Naruto's mind suddenly sounded a system prompt. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote. Option 1. Defeat Tuanzo and rescue Miero. Mission reward. Super illusion. Option 2. Obey Danzo and return to Konoha village. Mission reward. The secret of Sharingan. Listening to the system prompt in his head, Naruto was suddenly stunned in place. Super illusion. The secret of the Sharingan. Quote. Well, this mission reward is also too bad. Please, when the group is hidden on the opposite side, alas, you can't give better. Quote. Naruto was obviously a little dissatisfied with the reward this time. However, after complaining, Naruto chose mission 1 anyway. In Naruto's opinion, I love Luo, he must be saved, this is an unshirkable responsibility as a friend. As for the reward given by mission 2, there was really no temptation for Naruto. So soon after making a choice, Naruto was also decisively ready to strike. However, just as Naruto was about to strike, the opposite Danzo had already locked him. At this time, Danzo constantly used Izuku to deal with Naruto. If it had been before, Naruto might have dodged, but now it was not necessary. Having learned so much ninjutsu with Sandaime, Naruto directly counterattacked at the moment. Boom! Only hearing a series of explosions, even Danzo couldn't help but be shocked by Naruto's methods. Obviously, he didn't expect Naruto to actually improve so fast, even a lot more powerful than last time. It seems that that technique is really going to be used. After Danzo finished speaking, he decisively retreated towards the rear, and Naruto immediately chased after him when he saw this. Naruto, watch out for traps. Kakashi saw Naruto go after Danzo and couldn't help but remind him. However, at this time, Naruto did not care. In his opinion, Danzo could not turn over much of a wave at all. The last time I was able to win him, now I can too. Soon, Naruto followed Danzo to another clearing. At this moment, Danzo actually uncharacteristically stopped directly, which also made Naruto frown. Tuanzang, I warned you before. Don't mess with me again. Quote. It seems that your words are not taken to heart at all. If that's the case, then I won't show mercy to my subordinates today. Naruto didn't want to waste time here, so he prepared to strike a fatal blow at Danzo. However, just when Naruto was about to use the strongest ninjutsu to deal with Danzo, Danzo slowly showed his arm. Seeing Danzo undo the bandage on his arm, Naruto couldn't help but frown. This guy has already transplanted the Sharingan. Naruto didn't expect Danzo to actually complete his evil experiment. At this moment, just when Naruto was shocked, Danzo couldn't help but laugh. Hehe, the last time I lost to you, it made me yearn for strength even more. So I finished my experiment ahead of schedule. Now I'm going to use my newly mastered strongest ninjutsu to solve you. The bandages had been removed from Danzo's words, but when all the bandages on his arm were removed, Naruto discovered that he only had one Sharingan on his arm. In Naruto's memory, Danzo's arm had more than one chakra eye in class. Now it seems that although he has accelerated the progress, he is still a little hasty. Otherwise, it is impossible to have only one Sharingan. And just when Naruto was a little stunned, Danzo instantly began to seal. At this time, as the regiment leader's gestures continued to change, the chakra eye on his arm also began to move. Seeing this, Naruto decisively attached his domineering energy to his body, and then rushed towards Danzo. Naruto knew too well how strong this ninjutsu of Danzo was. So at this time, he didn't want Danzo to successfully use this ninjutsu. However, just as Naruto rushed to Danzo at a few speeds, ready to interrupt his ninjutsu, Danzo still shouted. Izanagi, launch, quote. With a cold drink from Tuanzang, the chakra eye on his arm quickly turned. Then I saw that all of Naruto's attacks on Danzo became ineffective. Seeing that his attack could not hurt Danzo at all, Naruto suddenly became worried in his heart. He still used that technique. Izanagi, ninjutsu that can invalidate ninjutsu. Quote. Naruto knew very well that once this technique was launched, then Danzo would have a minute to be invincible. No damage would have any effect on him. So no matter what ninjutsu Naruto used at this time, there was no way to hurt Danzo. But in this minute, Danzo can attack Naruto. Once injured by him, the consequences would be unimaginable. I have to say that this perverted ninjutsu of the Uchiha family who wrote the Wheel Eye is still very terrifying. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is even the most terrifying ninjutsu. You must know that in the original work, Tuanzang has 10 Sharingan. When all turned on, the regiment hides for 10 minutes of invincibility. These 10 minutes may seem short, but they can often kill the enemy in battles. But fortunately, Tuanzo has only transplanted one Sharingan now, so the invincible state only takes 1 minute. Thinking of this, Naruto decisively chose to retreat. Since it is impossible to cause damage to Tuanzang now, then avoid the edge for the time being. As long as he dodged this minute, but how could Danzo let Naruto escape? At this moment, just as Naruto was retreating, Danzo's sharp ninjutsu attacked Naruto one after another. Seeing the wind blowing one after another, Naruto couldn't help but frown. 9 llamas, lend me your power, quote. Although Naruto was domineering at this time, he still couldn't withstand Danzo's uninterrupted attacks, so he had to mobilize the 9-tailed chakra. Recently, Naruto has been busy practicing and rarely has contact with the 9 tails. At this time, when Naruto called out the name of the 9 llamas, the 9 tails finally woke up in Naruto's sealed space. Oh, Naruto boy, do you finally remember me? I thought you forgot I was still in your body. The 9 tails spoke a little unpleasantly. But even so, he lent chakra to Naruto. With the blessing of the 9-tailed chakra, Naruto's speed increased dozens of times almost instantly. So that Tuanzang's attacks were all empty, which also made Tuanzang a little confused. Naruto knew very well that as long as this minute passed, then Danzo would not pose a threat at all. At this moment, with the blessing of the nine-tailed chakra, Naruto intends to use the human sea tactic to consume Danzo. So soon Naruto created thousands of shadow doppelgangers with the help of endless chakras. Each shadow avatar is attached to domineering. Coupled with the amazing speed, Tuanzang can't even do anything for a while. In this way, with one doppelganger after another being eliminated, Tuanzang's invincible time finally came to an end. It seems that because of unwillingness, at this time, Danzo also took out his strongest sealing technique and wanted to seal Naruto. However, when it comes to sealing, Naruto has no less mastery than Danzo. Especially after the 3 generations of eyesight, Naruto's sealing technique has advanced by leaps and bounds. So when Danzo used the sealing technique, Naruto decisively cracked his sealing technique. It wasn't until the end, when Izanagi's time disappeared, that Danzo found himself trapped in the seal. Danzo, just stay in the seal obediently. Quote, wait until I rescue my Aluo, let's have a good chat about Sharingan. Naruto had previously seen Danzo's invincibility, so he also became interested in Izanagi at this time. But because he still had to go to rescue Iroh, Naruto had to temporarily seal Danzo here. After doing all this quickly, Naruto went to join Kakashi and Sakura. On the other hand, Kakashi and Sakura have also solved Danzo's men. Just when Kakashi was worried that Naruto was not Danzo's opponent, Naruto suddenly appeared in front of Kakashi. Naruto, you okay? Quote, Tuanzang that guy. Kakashi originally wanted to ask what was going on over there. After all, in his eyes, Naruto could not be Danzo's opponent at all. However, just as Kakashi wanted to ask, Naruto was the first to swept into the distance. Tuanzo that guy is hiding. There is no time, let's hurry up and save me Arrow. Naruto urged, and Kakashi had no choice but to stop asking for the time being. On the other side, just as Naruto and the others rushed to Sand Hidden Village, Kankuro had already chased him out. As my Arrow's best playmate and older brother, Kankuro has always guarded Aluo since he was a child. As soon as he learned that Iroh had been taken captive, Kankuro chased him out of Sunahide Village. However, in the process of Kankuro's pursuit, he also encountered his strongest opponent, the Red Sand Scorpion. For the Red Sand Scorpion, Kankuro naturally heard about it. However, those were all things before the Red Scorpion had not yet joined the Shao organization. At this time, when facing the Red Sand Scorpion, Kankuro also showed all his housekeeping skills. However, the strength of the Red Sand Scorpion is not comparable to a person. As a member of the Shao organization, almost everyone has the ability to do something. The Red Sand Scorpion is also known for its puppetry, which is the same as Kankuro. So in order to prove who has the stronger puppet art, Kankuro decisively chose to start a war with the Red Sand Scorpion. In this battle, Kankuro used almost all of his puppets. However, in front of the Red Sand Scorpion, Kankuro was always crushed. So much so that he eventually got poisoned and passed out. When Naruto's team came to the vicinity of Sunahide Village, they happened to find Kankuro in a coma. As a medical ninja, Sakura was the first to treat Kankuro. It's just that the Red Sand Scorpion's poison is so powerful that Sakura is a little helpless. Fortunately, there was Naruto on the side, and Naruto's medical ninjutsu was better than Sakura's. His poison, I can temporarily help him suppress it in the body. However, if you want to completely eliminate it, you still need the assistance of a lot of medicinal herbs. Let's take him to the Sand Hidden Village first. Maybe then there is salvation. Quote, Naruto briefly dealt with Kankuro before taking Kankuro towards Sand Hidden Village. Cheyenne Village, since Luo was taken away, my anger has been a little suppressed. Especially the high level of Cheyenne Village, at this time, there is no way, even if Chio's mother-in-law comes out of the mountain, there is still no good way. At this moment, everyone is pinning their hopes on Kankuro, hoping that he can bring back news about Iroh. However, just when everyone was looking forward to Kankuro's return, who had thought that Kankuro was carried back by Naruto. As soon as he entered the village of Sunahi, Maki, the ninja of the village of Sunahide, took Naruto and them all to the headquarters. In the headquarters, because they had many medicinal herbs needed, Naruto and Sakura teamed up to treat Kankuro. In this way, it took a lot of effort to finally save Kankuro. And the first thing Kankuro did when he woke up was to tell Naruto about their whereabouts of Ira. In addition, Kankuro also tore off a piece of the corner of his clothes from the red sand scorpion. After seeing the corner, Kakashi also immediately summoned the ninja dog and began to search for the whereabouts of Aro. For the rest of the day, all Naruto and Kakashi could do was wait. Without the tracking information of the ninja dogs, they did not dare to act rashly. However, just as Naruto and his party entered the sand-hidden village, on the other side, in the base of the Shao organization, Luo was being extracted by the people of the Shao organization at the moment. In front of the huge outer path golem, Iroh lay on the ground. After the members of the Shao organization summoned the golem of the outer Dao, they began to use the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon on Iroh. This ninjutsu is a special ninjutsu that uses the chakra in the outer path golem to seal the tailed beast into the body of the golem. At this time, Luo looked very painful, but the surrounding Shao organization members were extremely indifferent. Konoha Village. After Naruto's squad set out to aid Sunahide Village, Tsunade thought twice and prepared to send some more men. After all, the 9 tails in Naruto's body was also a secret of Konoha Village, and she didn't want Naruto to suffer accidents. Now it seems that the goal of the Shou organization is to come at the tailed beast, and Naruto is likely to be the next target. In order not to let Naruto be targeted by the Shou organization, Tsunade once again sent Kai and his squad to support. At this time, in the village of Sunahide, Naruto and Kakashi and they temporarily stayed. Early in the morning, the ninja finally brought back information related to Aro. So Kakashi's squad immediately assembled and prepared to go to rescue Aro. As for Sunahide Village, for various reasons, only Chiyo's mother-in-law followed alone. However, Chiyo's mother-in-law obviously did not trust the people of Konoha very much. After the group quickly left Cheyenne Village, they rushed towards the secret base of the Shao organization. And just as Naruto and his group left, the Shao organization also noticed the abnormality. In order to stop Naruto from destroying the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon, Oni is sent to deal with Kai and his squad. As for Naruto's side, Shao wanted him to come here. In that case, Naruto could be captured together and the 9 tails in his body could be extracted. Of course, until the Dragon 9 seals were completed, Naruto and Kakashi's arrival would only be bad. So before that, Uchiha Itachi took the initiative to appear, ready to delay Naruto and their time. And when they saw Uchiha Itachi again on the way forward, Naruto and Kakashi couldn't help but frown. The current Uchiha Itachi is not what he used to be, he has opened the Kaleidoscope Chakra Eye. With the blessing of the Kaleidoscope Riding Wheel Eye, the strength of Uchiha Itachi has greatly increased. The Izanagi used by Danzo before is already a super ninjutsu that writes chakra, but compared to Itachi, it is still a little worse. First of all, the moon reading that Uchiha Itachi is good at is a very tricky ninjutsu. If you read the moon, it is almost difficult to get out of the illusion on your own. In addition, Uchiha Itachi has several terrifying ninjutsu, such as Izanami and Susanoo and other forbidden arts. Almost every ninjutsu can kill people, and even Kakashi may not be able to win. Naruto-kun, meet again. When Uchiha saw Naruto again, he took the initiative to say hello. The last time he was in Konoha, he was originally going to capture Naruto with Oni Sakura. However, in the end, because of Sasuke, he gave up capturing Naruto. It was also from that time that he revealed his heart to Naruto. Naruto, as a traverser, was also well aware of Uchiha's identity. Goodbye to Uchiha Itachi at this time, Naruto was not too worried. Even if Uchiha Itachi was really ready to do it, Naruto had a way to deal with it. See you again. Sasuke, I couldn't bring it back. I'm sorry. Quote. Naruto said at Uchiha Itachi. At this time, hearing Naruto's words, Uchiha Itachi still did not have any fluctuations. However, Naruto knew that he should have been worried about Sasuke in his heart, but it was just inconvenient to express it. And just as Naruto greeted Uchiha Itachi, Chiyo's mother-in-law on the side finally spoke. Is this imp the legendary rebel? It looks very difficult to deal with. Chiyo's mother-in-law naturally won't know Uchiha's intentions, and at this time she is ready to strike. In her opinion, if Uchiha wanted to stop them, then she would have to fight him. But just when Chiyo's mother-in-law was ready to strike at any time, Uchiha Itachi spoke again. "You've fallen into my illusion. Stop struggling." Quote. As soon as Uchiha spoke, Naruto and his group were immediately shocked. So soon several people looked around, trying to find out. However, no matter how they looked around, they could not find any changes, which also made Naruto frown. It's a monthly reading. Kakashi spoke first at this time. He still had some understanding of the Sharingan. Especially the weasel's moon reading technique is even more terrifying. Once you read the moon, then it is really possible to be completely led by the nose of the weasel. At this moment, both Kakashi and Chiyo's mother-in-law began to worry. Obviously, if what the weasel said was true, then several of them would surely die. But just when Kakashi and Chiyo's mother-in-law were worried, Naruto laughed. Ferret, you're not the only one who knows magic. Actually, I will too. Naruto smiled as he gestured for Itachi to look around. At this time, the ferret only glanced at it, and then also frowned. How so? Quote, no one has ever been able to get me into the illusion. My eyes can see through everything. Uchiha Itachi is obviously a little difficult to accept, and the Sharingan of the Uchiha family is quite powerful. However, Naruto was able to make Itachi fall into illusion, which is really curious. Naruto, what are you talking about? Quote, his chakra eye can see through illusions. Besides, don't you know magic? Kakashi was also puzzled. As far as he knew, Naruto didn't know anything about illusions. Looking at Kakashi's doubtful eyes at this time, Naruto couldn't help but smile. It turned out that as soon as he saw Itachi, Naruto had already kept a hand. Kakashi-sensei, don't worry, I won't joke with life. Now if he wants to trap us, then he can't get out himself. Naruto said as he looked at Itachi on the opposite side. At this time, I saw that Uchiha Itachi was really using his chakra eye to dissolve his illusion. However, almost every attempt was unsuccessful, which couldn't help but make him wonder. How exactly did you do it? Uchiha finally gave up after struggling for some time. However, he was still a little undying, so he continued to ask. However, what Naruto would never tell him was that Naruto had actually launched copy ninjutsu from the beginning. Under the effect of copying ninjutsu, no matter what ninjutsu Itachi uses, it will be easily copied and applied to himself. This is also the reason why Itachi will fall into it even himself after launching the moon reading. And Naruto also performed a loop operation while using replica ninjutsu. In this way, the ferret is almost trapped in infinite monthly reading. Unless he himself lifts the monthly reading first, he can save himself from the monthly reading. I have to say that Naruto's hand copy ninjutsu is really wonderful. At this time, Itachi was a little overwhelmed by Naruto. I don't know if Itachi's Sharingan can be copied. Naruto also guessed at this time, and just when Naruto used copy ninjutsu to deal with Itachi, Itachi finally chose to give up. The next moment, he directly lifted Tsukio and released Naruto and them all. When he came back to his senses from the moon reading, Naruto couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Just before they could breathe, Uchiha had already launched a second attack. This time Uchiha Itachi was even more outrageous, and actually used Susanoo. Looking at the fully complete Susanoo, even Kakashi and Chiyo had palpitations. However, while Kakashi and Chiyo were thinking about how to respond, Naruto's body suddenly began to change. Soon I saw that Susanoo also appeared on Naruto's, but his state seemed to be weaker than Itachi's. How is this possible? Naruto, how did you do it? Quote, this is a ninjutsu that can only be used by Sharingan. Uchiha Itachi became more and more shocked. At this moment Naruto obviously did not have Sharingan, but he still used Susanoo. Such a thing seemed to Uchiha and Kakashi to be simply incredible. Of course, Naruto would not explain it to them carefully. After all, this copy ninjutsu was rewarded by the system. At first, Naruto thought that he could only copy some ordinary ninjutsu, but now it seems that this ninjutsu is much stronger than Kakashi's copy. Even this kind of copy ninjutsu was actually able to copy the blood succession limit, which really surprised Naruto. Looking at Susanoo on Naruto, Uchiha Itachi was puzzled. But soon he was the first to attack, and he really wanted to see if Naruto's Susanoo was real. In his opinion, since Naruto was able to use illusion on him before, maybe it was also an illusion trick now. Seeing that Susanoo suddenly attacked him, Naruto decisively wrapped Kakashi and the others with Susanoo. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura, and mother-in-law, you don't have to shoot. I'll just fix him. Stay within the reach of Susanoo. Quote. After Naruto reminded him, he decisively used Susanoo to face the battle. It has to be said that the battle between the two Susanoo has not been repeated even in Konoha's history. At this time, watching Naruto control Susanoo, Kakashi's heart was full of shock. Sakura on the side covered her mouth with her hand, and it was a little difficult to accept for a while. Originally, they thought that Naruto had only improved a little at most, but now it seemed that Naruto had clearly exceeded their expectations. Rumble. With just a loud bang, the battle between Susanoo almost shattered the ground. At this time, just as Naruto controlled Susanoo to fight back, Uchiha Itachi realized that Naruto's ninjutsu was not an illusion. Obviously, Naruto's Susanoo is real, but his Susanoo seems to have a lot of evil doors. Because of his chakra eyes, Uchiha can even see through everything. At this time, he had looked at Naruto's body countless times, only to find that this Susanoo did not seem to come from Hitomi power. This guy's Susanoo, as if it were rootless water, appeared out of thin air. What the hell is going on here? Uchiha completely subverted his cognition at this time. Compared to Uchiha Itachi, Naruto is full of confidence. In Naruto's opinion, as long as there is copy ninjutsu, then he can be strong when he is strong. No matter how powerful the other party is, Naruto can fight back in the same way. In this way, no matter what kind of opponent is bound to be defeated by his own ninjutsu. However, just when Naruto thought that he could really fight Uchiha Itachi by copying ninjutsu, suddenly the chakra in his body changed. It turned out that the chakra consumed by this replica ninjutsu was simply terrifyingly outrageous. Just because of a copy ninjutsu that Susanoo had, the chakra in Naruto's body was almost hollowed out. This is also why Naruto's Susanoo is weaker than Itachi's Susanoo. Although the previous battle was up and down, Naruto still felt a little difficult. Shish, according to such consumption, I can last a few moves at most. Naruto also discovered the shortcomings of copying ninjutsu at this time, so he couldn't help frowning. And just when Naruto discovered the drawbacks of copying ninjutsu, the Itachi on the opposite side seemed to notice it as well. After all, the Uchiha family's Sharingan is no joke. Just as Naruto frowned, Uchiha Itachi had already sensed this. Soon his chakra eyes saw through Naruto's body, and the next moment Uchiha couldn't help but speak. It seems that your chakra won't last long. In that case, I'll solve you with one blow. Uchiha Itachi is ready to manipulate Susanoo to attack again. This time, Uchiha Itachi's Susanoo has already pulled out his weapon and is ready to launch the strongest attack. Seeing that the other party seemed to be ready to completely solve himself this time, Naruto couldn't help but worry. But soon, the 9 llamas in Naruto's body suddenly snorted coldly. HMPH. Naruto Imp. Your chakra is not enough to support such ninjutsu. Quote. Use mine anyway. When the time comes, if you die, I will also be implicated. Quote. This was the first time that the 9 llamas had taken the initiative to lend chakra to Naruto. Naruto finally had an idea after hearing this. You must know that in the original work, the chakra of the 9 tails can be combined with Susanoo. After the merger, Susanoo's strength was even more violent. Thinking of this, Naruto made a bold decision to let Susanoo cover the 9 tails cloak. In this way, stronger blessings can be obtained. Good, then give it a try. Quote. After Naruto snorted coldly, he decisively mobilized the 9-tailed chakra to form a coat on himself. And after the 9-tailed cloak wrapped himself, Susanoo covered it again. Such a series of operations also made Kakashi and Chiyo's mother-in-law stunned at this time. Uchiha Itachi, who was preparing to attack on the opposite side, frowned even more. Obviously, none of them expected Naruto to actually use combined ninjutsu at this time. You must know that using combined ninjutsu is not a one-click joke, and if you are not careful, you will be eaten back. However, Naruto now actually uses the chakra of the Nine Tails to cooperate with Susanoo, which is simply ridiculously strong. The next moment, when the nine-tailed chakra cloak was covered by Susanoo, Naruto decisively chose to strike. Seeing this, Uchiha Itachi had to bite the bullet and start fighting. However, with the blessing of the nine-tailed chakra, Naruto's Susanoo is simply a bit perverted. Almost one blow cut off most of Uchiha Itachi's Susanoo in half. Fortunately, Uchiha Itachi quickly repaired Susanoo with his powerful chakra. However, even if it was repaired, it was broken again by Naruto's nine-tailed Susanoo. One after another, until Uchiha Itachi's chakra was not enough to support Susanoo, Uchiha Itachi finally backed away. The chakra of the Nine Tails is really endless. In this case, I really can't resist. Uchiha Itachi has always been very calm, and now Naruto's strength he has experienced firsthand. If you continue to fight, I am afraid that there will really be no good fruit. So after careful consideration, Uchiha Weasel chose to retreat. And just as Uchiha Weasel was retreating, in the headquarters of the Shao organization on the other side, the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon had almost been completed. Standing on the boulder, a figure had detected the battle between Naruto and Uchiha Itachi. Gee, that little devil of the 9 tails seems to be very difficult. I would like to meet him in person. That figure was none other than Six Dao Pain. Originally, he was expecting Uchiha to capture Naruto as well, but now it seems that it is not so simple. The strength of this little devil seems to be too different from the intelligence. Just as Lu Dao Pain spoke, the absolute figure slowly appeared on the side. Hearing the words, Lu Dao Pain nodded slightly. Looks like the plan is about to change. Let's retreat first. Konoha seems to have a lot of support, and the little devil of the 9 tails let him continue to bounce for a few days first. Quote. After saying that, the 6 Pain and Absolute slowly disappeared in place. After the two disappeared, Red Scorpion and Deidara were responsible for finishing the work. In the headquarters of the Shao organization, all the members disappeared one by one after completing the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon. On the other side, the Itachi that Naruto was fighting finally slowly disappeared at this time. It turned out that the Uchiha Itachi on this side was just a doppelganger, and the purpose was just to stop Naruto and them. Naruto-kun, you are strong. We'll meet again. Quote. The moment Uchiha disappeared, the voice also reached Naruto's ears. At this time, Naruto couldn't help but sigh. It turned out that this guy from Uchiha Itachi was just a doppelganger. If his essence were here, perhaps Susanoo's strength would be stronger. Although Naruto now possesses replica ninjutsu and can barely fight Uchiha Itachi, they are still far from each other. If it weren't for the timely addition of chakra of the 9 tails today, Naruto might have been in real danger. Although he knew that Uchiha Weasel would not really kill himself, the people who could not hold the organization would not make a move. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but clench his fists. It seems that we still have to continue to get stronger. Otherwise, there is really no way to face those perverts of the Shao organization. Quote. Especially that 6 Dao Pain, his strength is far above the weasel. Naruto secretly made up his mind in his heart, and just then, Kakashi's ninja came to report. Teacher Kai's side has also repelled the doppelganger of the ghost mackerel, and has successfully arrived at the headquarters of the Shao organization. But at the moment, the building is empty, leaving only one entrance. Kai-sensei, they are trying to enter through the entrance. What about I Love Ro? How is he? Quote. Hearing the ninja report, Naruto asked about Imaro. And at this time, the ninja dog shook his head a little helplessly. My Iroh was taken away by Deidara. I don't know if I'm alive or dead now. There was so much information brought by the ninja dog, and at this time Naruto had to face two choices. The first option was to join Teacher Kai and them to investigate the headquarters of the organization. And the second option is to go after Deidara, and bring my arrow back. For these two options, Naruto did not think too much about it and directly chose to pursue Deidara. In Naruto's opinion, even if they went to the headquarters of the Shao organization, they were not opponents now. But the safety of my love is the most important thing. Although in the original book Arrow died after being removed from the tailed beast, Naruto would never allow this to happen. Soon, after making a decision, Naruto and his group chased in the direction Deidara and the Red Scorpion left. Because Kakashi's ninja led the way, they soon found traces of the Red Sand Scorpion and Deidara. However, soon the Red Scorpion and Deidara began to split up. By the time Naruto caught up, the Red Sand Scorpion had been waiting for a long time. "Yo, long time no see. Chio mother-in-law." Quote, the Red Sand Scorpion stood in Naruto's way and was the first to greet Chio's mother-in-law. And at this time, Chio's mother-in-law couldn't help but get a little excited. "You must know that this Red Sand Scorpion is her own grandson. At one time, he was also a major fighting force in the village of Sunahi, but he was killed by Kakashi's father in battle. However, encountering the Red Sand Scorpion here at this moment is enough to prove that he is still alive." Mother-in-law Chio opened her mouth at the Red Sand Scorpion with some excitement at this time. "Scorpion, why join Shao and betray Cheyenne village?" Quote, "It's still time to turn back. Otherwise, don't blame me for being unkind." Quote, Chio's mother-in-law still seems to want to persuade the Scorpion, but at this time, where will the Red Sand Scorpion obey her dissuasion? He has completely become a loyal member of the Shao organization, completely abandoning his past feelings. "Mother-in-law, this guy seems to be stalling for time. We can't be fooled by him." While Chio's mother-in-law was talking to the Red Scorpion, Kakashi discovered his intentions. "So I reminded Chio's mother-in-law to come." Hearing Kakashi's reminder, Chio's mother-in-law waved her hand. "You guys go first, this is a matter for our ancestors and grandchildren, we will solve it ourselves. You must recover my Aluo. Please." Quote, Chio's mother-in-law had already entrusted Mayura to Naruto at this time. But at this moment, Sakura also decisively chose to stay. She didn't want to see Chio's mother-in-law facing the Red Sand Scorpion alone. Naruto and Kakashi did not object to Sakura's decision. Soon, after a few words to them, Naruto and Kakashi pursued again. Because Deidara's ninjutsu was good enough to allow him to fly in the air, Naruto and Kakashi's pursuit was difficult. But Rao is so, Naruto does not plan to give up. After all, Luo is his friend, and I can't see death without saving it. Despite Kakashi's persuasion several times, Naruto still did not change his mind. That guy has been flying in the air, and he can't catch up at all. Walking behind Deidara, Naruto became a little anxious at this time. Kakashi and Naruto, neither of them can fly type ninjutsu, and they really accept it. But soon a picture from the original book appeared in Naruto's mind. That is the ninjutsu that Senjukuma used when fighting Uchiha. There you have it. You may be able to succeed with that ninjutsu. Quote, Naruto suddenly stopped at this time and began to mobilize the Senju bloodline in his body. With the appearance of the bloodline of the Senju clan, Naruto decisively used the wooden dun. And when Naruto used Izuki, the ground seemed to suddenly appear as if a forest had suddenly appeared. And the towering trees that emerged directly formed a long passage and went straight to Deidara. Seeing this scene, Kakashi on the side couldn't help but be stunned in place. This is actually a generation of ninjutsu. How did Naruto learn it? Kakashi was puzzled, knowing that this kind of ninjutsu was not something that anyone could learn. However, when Kakashi thought of Naruto's incomprehensible ninjutsu using Susanoo before, he finally sighed. Naruto had too many secrets at the moment, but it was clearly not the time to delve into it. Just as Naruto used Kiden to create a path to heaven, Kakashi immediately understood Naruto's intentions. Kakashi-sensei, it's now! Naruto shouted, and Kakashi chased straight down the passage as he spoke. At this time, with the blessing of the nine-tailed chakra, Naruto's speed of creating towering trees was comparable to the speed of Deidara's flight. Soon Kakashi caught up with Deidara along the passage, and even Deidara couldn't help but be surprised at the moment. Kiki Kakashi, copy ninja of Konoha. Quote, gee, nice to see you here. When Deidara met Kakashi, he also aroused the desire to fight in his heart. And just as Deidara's stop came, Naruto had already chased after the trees made by Mu-Duan. Hand over my Aluo, otherwise, die here. Quote, upon seeing Deidara, Naruto spoke coldly. Deidara was also very excited about Naruto's appearance. After all, Naruto was a hunting target for weasels and oni mackerel. However, the ferret and the ghost mackerel have never succeeded, which also gave Deidara the idea of snatching prey. After all, Deidara joined the Shao organization because he lost to Itachi, and his ultimate goal is to defeat Itachi. Now if you can bring back the weasels and their prey, you may be able to prove that you are better than the ferrets. So thinking of this, Deidara couldn't help licking his tongue. Nine-tailed imp. Gee, send it yourself. Quote, then you're welcome. Deidara was already aiming at Naruto at this time, ready to strike at any time. However, just as Deidara locked on Naruto, Kakashi suddenly blocked in front of Naruto. Kakashi knew all the way that Naruto had consumed a lot of chakra. Although there was a nine-tailed chakra as a supplement, Naruto's state was already very tired. Coupled with the use of this passage created by Mu Duan, Naruto was actually exhausted. So in order not to let Naruto be taken advantage of by this guy Deidara, Kakashi decided to deal with him personally. Your opponent is me. Knock me down and think of him again. Quote. Ratchet was ready as Kakashi spoke, and the next moment he saw Kakashi rushing straight up. Seeing Kakashi rushing towards him, the detonating clay in Deidara's hand suddenly threw it over. When the clay flew in front of Kakashi, it decisively exploded, directly forming a wave of chi. Under the influence of the chi wave, Naruto was blown backwards. And Kakashi had disappeared into the explosion by this time. Just when Naruto was worried about Kakashi's safety, Kakashi didn't know when he had appeared behind Deidara. Rachel. As soon as Kakashi appeared, he decisively slashed towards Deidara's neck. Seeing that Ratchet had successfully hit Deidara, Kakashi couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. However, just when Kakashi thought that this blow had been hit, Deidara's body instantly expanded, and then exploded directly. Rumble. Above the sky, the sound of explosions was far away. When the smoke from the explosion fell, Kakashi realized that Deidara had disappeared. But soon he sensed Deidara's breath, so he couldn't help but look at Naruto. Naruto, be careful, Kakashi reminded. At this time, Deidara had already touched Naruto's back, and a clay bomb was directly pressed on Naruto. If Naruto was really injured, I am afraid that he would lose consciousness in an instant. However, just when Deidara's smile was on his face, thinking that his sneak attack had succeeded, Naruto suddenly pinched Deidara's hand. Naruto has a domineering protective body, where will be afraid of Deidara's explosive clay. What Naruto had to do at this time was to keep Deidara, not giving him a chance to escape. Seeing that his wrist was pinched by Naruto, Deidara couldn't help but frown. Are you crazy guy? It's going to explode. Deidara's clay could also hurt himself, and he was a little anxious. But just as he struggled to slip away next to the smart man, Naruto had already made a quick seal. 4-elephant seal. Naruto decisively used the sealing technique at this time, ready to keep Deidara. But at this moment, Deidara suddenly cut off his arm, like a gecko with a broken tail to survive. Seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help but frown. He didn't expect Deidara, who could actually do this. Soon Deidara fled from Naruto's side. However, just when Deidara thought she could escape, Kakashi behind him had already revealed his chakra eyes. Kamui. Kakashi's chakra eye had already used Kamui at this time. Under Kamui's attack, Deidara's other arm was directly sucked into another space. Seeing that her entire body was about to be sucked in, Deidara finally begged for mercy. At this time, Deidara begged for mercy, and Kakashi stopped. Naruto also took advantage of this gap to completely seal Deidara. After doing all this, Naruto and Kakashi found Ira from the ground below. It's just that at this time, Ailuo has lost his vitality, and Shuhei has also separated from his body. At this time, Iroh no longer had absolute defense, and looking at Iroh's strength, Naruto was a little helpless. At this moment, the Shozuru doppelganger in Naruto's body also seemed to feel when it was, and kept screaming. On the other hand, while Naruto and Kakashi subdued Deidara, Sakura and Chiyo's mother-in-law were in a bitter battle. I have to say that the strength of the Red Sand Scorpion is still very strong. In particular, his ability to control thousands of puppets has simply surpassed his predecessors. If he is still a ninja of Sand Hidden Village, then it will inevitably bring greater combat power to Sand Hidden Village. It's a pity that now he has completely become a member of the Shao organization, and Chiyo's mother-in-law has to endure the pain of attacking him. Scorpion, even if I fought my old life today, I'm also going to get you back on the right path. Quote. Chiyo's mother-in-law's combat power is still very strong, but it is still a lot worse than the puppet technique of the Red Sand Scorpion. Soon mother-in-law Chiyo and Sakura fell into passivity, and even mother-in-law Chiyo was poisoned by scorpions. At this time, when Sakura and Chiyo's mother-in-law were in crisis, finally the figures of Naruto and Kakashi suddenly fell from the sky. Naruto remembers the original book well, so he also rushed to reinforce at this time. Although Sakura defeated the Red Sand Scorpion in the original book, she also paid a terrible price. So since he could avoid it, Naruto naturally wouldn't let Sakura get hurt. As soon as it appeared, Naruto decisively threw a large jade spiral pill towards the Red Sand Scorpion. The Red Sand Scorpion was caught off guard and was shot out by Naruto. Next, Naruto even used the nine-tailed chakra to attack madly. Even Teacher Kai's 8 doors of Dunjia were used. Although the Red Sand Scorpion is very strong, it cannot withstand Naruto's series of attacks. Soon, all of his proud puppets were shattered by Naruto. Knowing that at the last moment, Naruto punched through the puppet where the Red Sand Scorpion hid himself. At this point, the life of the Red Sand Scorpion was completely over. Seeing her grandson pass away like this, Chiyo's mother-in-law felt extremely sad in her heart. But this is not the time for her to be sad, because my arrow's situation is more critical. Just as Naruto and Kakashi appeared, Chiyo's mother-in-law and Sakura had already seen Ira's body. At this moment, the two began to treat my arrow. However, because the tailed beast is no longer there, Iailuo has no possibility of resurrection at this moment. Looking at the corpse of my arrow, Chiyo's mother-in-law couldn't help but feel a little worried. You know, if my arrow dies, Sand-Hidden Village and the Land of Wind will inevitably fall into chaos. That's not the result she wants to see. The Land of the Wind, Sand-Hidden Village, when Naruto and his party brought Iroh back, everyone looked sad. Especially Temari and Kankuro are even more unacceptable to my Ira's death. At this time, Cheyenne Village was shrouded in a suppressed anger. Although the news did not spread, several people at the top had already begun to worry about the Land of Wind. And just when everyone was worried about the future of Sunahide Village, Naruto finally made a decision. In the empty room, Naruto sat on a cushion and quickly entered the sealed space. At this time, in the sealed space, the 9 llamas were lying there bored. Seeing Naruto appear, the 9 llamas just glanced at him and continued to close his eyes. At this time, Naruto had already walked in front of Shozuru on the side. At this time, Shuhei was hanging his head, obviously already knowing something. Shuhei, your body has been forcibly withdrawn from my Iailuo's body by the Shao organization. But don't worry, your body will not be in danger for the time being. I came to you for another thing. Naruto didn't go around the corner and spoke straightforwardly. At this time, hearing Naruto's words, Shozuru couldn't help but raise his head. I already feel it, my essence seems to be trapped. What am I going to do now? Shuhei actually started crying, almost like a child. Looking at Moritsuru's appearance, Naruto couldn't help but reach out and touch it on the top of its head. Now your former human pillar power is dead because the tailed beast was withdrawn. But I have a way to save him. Do you want him to come back alive? Naruto continued to communicate with Moritsuru. And when Naruto mentioned Aira, Shozuru suddenly raised his head. That little ghost, although he hates him too, I have lived with him for so long. Quote, if he dies, I will be even sadder. Shozuru cried louder as he spoke, but just then Naruto spoke again. If I had a way to bring him back to life, would you help? Naruto looked at Shozuru seriously, and at this moment Shozuru suddenly stopped crying. Apparently, he also seems to be concerned about the safety of my Iailuo. So soon I saw Shozuru nodding slightly and looking at Naruto seriously. What's the way? Do you need my help? No problem, as long as you can bring that little devil to life, I can help you. Moritsuru expressed his thoughts to Naruto without reservation. And after getting Shuzuru's answer, Naruto laughed with satisfaction. Okay, then I'm ready to send you back to my arrow. As long as you return to his body, he will be the same as before. As for your essence, sooner or later I will help you get it back. When Naruto said this, Shozuru finally became happy. And just as Naruto and Morizuru were communicating, the nine tails on the side couldn't help but snort coldly. HMPH. Boy, you better not be like the little ghosts of the Shuhei family. Quote. I don't want me to save you one day. Although the words of the nine tails sounded a little unpleasant, Naruto knew what he wanted to say. After all, the human pillar force and the tailed beast are symbiotic, and once the human pillar force is gone, the tailed beast will probably be dangerous. Besides, they had no idea what the organization wanted to do with them. Instead of giving his fate to the show organization, it was better to give it to Naruto. Haha, 9 llamas, rest assured, I won't die. Quote, okay, see you later, I'll go out first, Shuhei, I'll release you in a moment. Naruto briefly explained a few words before leaving the sealing space. And when Naruto left the sealed space, Morizuru couldn't help but look at the 9 tails on the side. Hey, 9 llama, this kid is actually quite good, he has feelings and righteousness. Don't be so fierce to people. Shuhei educated the 9 tails, and at this time, the 9 tails couldn't help but frighten the cranes. These days, he has not been educated by the 9 tails. Thinking of being able to return to my arrow body soon, Shuhei really looked forward to it. In the hall of the headquarters of Cheyenne Village, everyone looked at the corpse of my Ai Luo with a little sadness. Sakura and Chio are both helpless for medical ninjas. However, just when everyone was in grief, Chio's mother-in-law finally seemed to have made up her mind. So she slowly walked to my arrow's side and put her hand up. Cheyenne Village can't be leaderless. Just use my old life to exchange it for Lord Wind Shadow. At this time, Chio's mother-in-law is ready to use the rebirth technique with her own life to resurrect my Aira. However, just as mother-in-law Chio was about to make a move, Naruto walked in from outside. Mother-in-law Chio, I love Luo and leave it to me. You guys get out first. I'll return you alive Ai Luo later. Quote. Naruto looked at everyone, but at this time everyone looked puzzled. Apparently they didn't think Naruto had that much ability. But just when everyone hesitated, mother-in-law Chio spoke. You all get out. As an elder-level figure in Sand Hidden Village, Chio's mother-in-law still has weight in her words. So soon everyone left as she was told. After everyone left, Chio's mother-in-law was just about to speak, but Naruto interrupted her. Mother-in-law, I know what you want to do, but it's not fair to you to exchange your life for my Ai Luo's life. I have another method here. Maybe bring him back to life. Quote. When Naruto walked up to Aira, he also put his hand on Airo. Seeing this, Chio's mother-in-law looked puzzled. Although she had seen Naruto's medical ninjutsu, she did not think that Naruto could do it. And just when Chio's mother-in-law looked puzzled, Naruto decisively called out Shozuru. At this time, as soon as she saw Shuzuru's appearance, even Chio's mother-in-law was shocked. You must know that she has confirmed that the tailed beast in my Ai Luo's body has been withdrawn. It is precisely for this reason that Ai Luo will die, but at this moment, Shozuru appeared again, which really shocked Chio's mother-in-law. Don't worry, mother-in-law, this is Shuhei's doppelganger. Before, when Airo went to Konoha, I sealed the doppelganger of Morizuru in my body. Now it's just enough to get Shozuru back in place, so that my Ai Luo can be resurrected. You can also have Morizuru. Quote. This is a good thing for both Sand Hidden Village and Konoha Village. Naruto didn't want any gap between Sunahide and Konoha. And putting Shuhei's doppelganger back in place is also a great sincerity. After all, although it is only Shuhei's doppelganger, if you use it well, it is also a big killer. It is impossible to hand over other villages. Looking at Naruto's sincere face, Chio's mother-in-law finally let go of all doubts about Konoha. It seems that the future of the ninja world is in your hands, young man. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.